Swing and a fly ball left center. Harris on the run. He's going to turn and watch that one go. And opposite field homer for Gorman. That's loud and hit to center. Harris on the run, still going. That ball is gone. 15th home run for Walker.
Let's get nasty on a Wednesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. 202, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. I think we all had that one, right? Cardinals crushing the Braves.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go too far. They tried to blow it at the end of the game.
Marsh, come on, man. It's been a long season. They win a game. You're gonna go that route?
The bullpen was like, hold my
I'm
beer.
absolutely going to go that route. That's what this team is.
You know, Marsh, it's like we can't have nice things around you.
Marshy's angry.
Yeah, why? Why are
I
you
am
angry?
angry. My room was hot last night. I didn't get good sleep.
So
Well, it's not the Cardinals' fault.
why was your room hot?
Well, I just moved in. I got a lot of stuff in there. The AC wasn't blowing the way I wanted it to, so...
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you
Said it.
How do you want it to blow, Marsh?
very strongly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just wasn't... Consistently.
Yeah. So is this AC a little spotty for you?
A little bit.
In the new house?
I mean, it's important.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Do you have a fan?
No, I need to go get one.
That's the key right
So
there.
you have
So
AC.
when it's not blowing the right way, Anthony, you can help it.
You gotta,
the
you gotta
AC
manufacture
The
it.
Yeah,
AC
you can
works
help.
in the house. For some reason, my room, it's not kicking.
Did your roommates give you the crap room? Were you the last one to move in?
No, I wasn't, but I do have one of these smaller rooms, which is fine. I don't really
That should
care.
cool down quicker then.
Are you above a garage?
You know what? I might be
Are you below a garage?
not below the garage.
Below the garage, you're all right.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're above a garage,
I
get all
think I
sorts
am
of weird
above the
ideas.
garage.
that heat is just, I mean, it's elevated right in your face.
So the last house that we lived in, we had one of the bedrooms that was above the garage, but it was either extremely hot or extremely cold. Like so much so that at one point I walk in, I was like, is this room haunted? Because you walk in, you see your breath. I was like, what is going on around here? But then it'd be like really hot too.
I can deal with the cold.
Not great.
I can deal with the cold. You know, I got like 3 blankets. I can throw those on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you can't peel your skin off.
no,
No.
you can't do
I mean,
that.
you
That'd
can.
be kind of
I
weird.
don't advise it.
No. Some have,
Some have.
but yeah, let's not go that route. Chip Carey on the call last night. We're going to talk to Brad Thompson a little bit later on in the show. We've got a lot of interviews lined up, in fact, for today. We've got our guy Jeremy Rutherford at 2:15. We're going to talk to my good buddy Sean Baligian from Detroit about the Lions and whether or not we should be buying into the Lions ahead of tomorrow night's game in Kansas City.
Should be.
Week 1 kicks off tomorrow. We've got the game for you right here on 101 ESPN. And Kyle Hiebert, our guy from St. Louis City SC, will join us at 3:30. So again, first 2 hours of the show plus BT. In the 4 o'clock hour, we're kind of locked and loaded with interviews. But last night was another example, guys. First of all, what a performance by Jordan Walker. Dad in the stands, mom's in the stands, grandma's in the stands. It's his home. It's his homecoming. He returns to
Stone
Atlanta.
Mountain, Georgia. Anthony, you ever been there?
Stone Mountain? I don't think so.
I've been there. They've
Have you?
got they've got this this carving in the side of a mountain. And it's like, I think General Lee and all the people way back in South and all that stuff. And in the summertime, they do a laser show on the side of Stone Mountain, and it all like moves and stuff.
No
like
kidding.
At night. Yeah, it's really cool.
Where
you can
is
walk
it?
all the way up.
Where is it in Georgia, roughly?
About 30-ish minutes outside of like Atlanta, 35.
Okay. Because Atlanta is
Atlanta's
like
massive.
north. Yeah.
But Stone Mountain, Georgia. It's beautiful.
Okay.
there.
Nice.
Stoned Mountain. You watch things
No, that's a
on
different.
a wall.
Yeah, that's different, Marsh.
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
yeah.
start seeing things on a rock.
You're thinking of something else. Jamie's talking. Yeah.
Oh. This
Anyways.
one's not in Georgia.
No.
No, but Jordan Walker, to your point, before we dive into more of the stuff, I can tell you from experience, it's not easy to play a game in front of your family.
You've done it.
Yeah, and now in hockey, it's a little different because, there are one-on-one battles all over the ice and whatnot. But you can go out there, run around, have a few hits, and a couple of good tape-to-tape passes, a couple of good clearance.
Absolutely.
Anthony. And Mom and Dad are pretty
Got
happy.
that right out of the zone there, kid. Nice job.
Nice job, son. Good icing.
Yeah.
But it's a little different in baseball, I imagine. I mean, I remember the first time my parents watched me in the NHL, I got my nose broken by Jerry Fleming, who was 6'6", cross-checked me across the nose, and we had a little scrap, and there was blood all over my face. I cotton tubes up my nose for the rest of the game.
Nice.
That was fun. Grandma loved it. But Jordan Walker didn't have to deal with that last night.
No, not at all.
No, he just had to deal with some pitching from the Braves, and apparently it wasn't challenging enough for him.
I guess not. Neither him nor Nolan Gorman, who we'll get to in a second. But Walker doubled to first in the second inning to plate Nolan Arenado. What a slide, too, by Nolan to get his hand in as he's about to get tagged. You know, he kind of, midway through the slide, he moves his left hand, gets the right one in on the plate. Nice job, veteran slide there from Nolan Arenado.
I was more impressed with Tyler O'Neill's slide when he took second base.
Yeah. You know, he homered last night, Marsh.
He did.
He homered last night. That was a tater from Ton.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was hitting the ball last night.
Certainly. Against the Braves team that, again, best in baseball. Mm-hmm. Walker then homered. He singled in the sixth as well before grounding out to seventh. So he didn't want it bad enough, I guess. He didn't want the 4-for-4 bad enough last night, guys. But a pretty decent night for Jordan Walker. 3-for-4, 3 runs scored. He had the home run and two RBI. Nolan Gorman, 2 hits, both home runs. Absolutely crushed. One in the ninth, 403 feet. Absolutely crushed one in the third, 426 feet to score Goldschmidt. But this has been largely a season chock full of negatives. The one positive, or one of the few positives I would say, is that your young core. I'm not talking about Goldschmidt. I'm not even talking necessarily about Arenado, though he's part of your core, obviously. I'm talking about the young guys. Nolan Gorman heads into the winter last year, heads into the offseason with a lot of things to work on. He emerges in spring training, takes off, has a brilliant spring training. It carries into the regular season, and he winds up having an outstanding sophomore season. Jordan Walker, at 20 years old, makes the big league squad, has that 13-game hit streak early on, 14, I can't remember what the exact number.
It was just enough to get him sent down, Anthony.
Yeah, certainly. Winds up going to Memphis for a little while, comes back up, and he is having an outstanding season at 21 years old. Gorman, Walker, I know Wynn went 0-for-4 last night, but nice play up the middle last night to get out of the one inning. He ranges all the way to his left, winds up throwing an absolute rocket to Goldschmidt at first to get out of that inning when the Braves are starting to chip away again. This young core for the Cardinals, offensively, is something that you can build on and something you can look forward to next year. You got it, obviously, the pitching, that whole conversation. We've had that conversation. It would be nice
to have one of those young core as a pitcher, though, wouldn't it?
We've had the conversation about the pitching. Nothing changes there. But if you just push that aside for a second, you got to be fired up about this young core.
I don't think you can't be. Honestly, the Cardinals have talked about Gorman and Walker and Wynn, for that matter, ad nauseum over the last couple of years. And you're seeing their talents come to fruition. Now, Nolan Gorman, for all intents and purposes, last year, he wasn't with the big club the whole year, and he struggled high in the strike zone. The high heater eluded him quite a bit. Mm-hmm. But he still had 14 home runs last year. He had another 17 or 19 or whatever in Memphis at the time, but still 14 dingers. You knew the kid had power.
Yeah.
He reeled in his game in the offseason. He shrunk his own strike zone a little bit, and he's not getting caught swinging at the high heaters as often. And that's translating into a lot of raw power on a more consistent basis.
Yep.
Jordan Walker, I don't know if anybody really had him penciled in to be on the roster for most of the season. He hadn't even played a game of AAA baseball yet. He broke camp with the big club, went on that tear at the start of the season of consecutive games with hits. Now he's touching seats on a more regular basis. So you're seeing that both of those guys hit the snot out of the ball. They're big, strong guys, not just Pete Alonso in MLB anymore. We got a couple here in St. Louis. And
Jamie, you are so right.
thank you, Janet. Thank you for recognizing. It's always good to hear your voice on a sunny day. But you also have Mason Wynn, who's probably not touching seats right now for a while. Like, that's not going to be his game. He just needs to put the ball in play and let his speed do the work and let his defense play. But I'm excited about these three young guys in particular that the Cardinals have.
That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. We're going to talk a little Blues hockey next with our guy Jeremy Rutherford from The Athletic. We'll check in with him, see what he's got cooking. And after reading the piece from JR about Colton Parayko, maybe we'll kind of circle back because he was releasing that article last week when we had him on. Again, maybe we'll circle back about that. We also have a question for you. I heard BK and Tanner ask John Denton of MLB.com about whether or not the Cardinals should sign Jordan Walker and or Nolan Gorman to contract extensions. We've seen the Braves do this. We saw them do this last year with Michael Harris Jr. He had a good half a season. They're like, all right, we're going to lock this kid up. If Walker was willing and Gorman was willing, would you do it with one of those guys, or sign them into an extension? Leave us a mic drop. Yeah, leave us a mic drop on this, and we'll revisit this at some point during the show. Or are you in the camp of like, no, let's just have them keep doing what they're doing, young cost control players. Let's not go down that route as of right now. JR next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, our guy Ron, the Wizard of Comfort, he just continues rolling out fantastic programs from Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. Right now, you can upgrade your home comfort system and you'll get an instant rebate. You'll get tax credits, everything totaling around $5,000, Anthony. Plus 60 months, 0% financing.
This is why we went with Ron, the Wizard of Comfort, and Swiss Air in our house. We needed to replace the entire HVAC unit earlier this year. We made our calls. We had 4 or 5 bids come out. Swiss Air was the first, Jamie, and nobody could beat what Swiss Air was offering. Everybody was nice and polite, but nobody could touch their rebates. Nobody could touch their pricing. Nobody could touch their financing. Swiss Air was just out of this world outstanding. Our guy Marsh is talking about the AC, not cooling in his new house. He's got to listen to us here with Ron and the Wizard of Comfort and Swiss Air.
Marsh, you can call Ron, the Wizard of Comfort. It's pretty easy.
Call him, Marsh.
Call him. Tell him Jamie and Anthony sent you in. And all you got to do is call him at 636-500-COOL. That's right, 636-500-COOL. Or you can visit him at SwissAirSTL.com.
for the Rutherford Report on 101 ESPN.
Anything you folks want to know about the fascinating world of pro hockey, here we go.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with former Blues defenseman Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Joining us right now via the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line is our guy Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic, where you can follow him on Twitter at JP Rutherford. What's up, JR?
Que pasa, mi amigos? How you guys doing?
We're doing great, man. How about you?
Good. Yeah, getting ready for the season here.
JR, give us a little update right now. Where are we at training camp? When does it officially open for the Blues? And have you heard any rumblings at all surrounding the team, or have you talked to any of the players recently?
So, Riv, every year I say that the season begins when we pop that first beer, and don't we have Blues and Brews coming up here on the 22nd? So that'll be the official.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Blues actually announced some players going out there. We got Binnington, Thomas, new guy, Kevin Hayes, Braden Shen, Colton Parayko, Craig Berube, Jamie Rivers. There'll be a lot of people there.
Stars are coming out that night.
Yeah, and Rivers is coming too.
Well, on a good night.
Yeah. So, no, we're looking at training camp ready to start about the third week of September. The Blues each year, kind of hang on a little bit to release that date. But we're looking at third week of September and probably should get an official announcement of that first day on practice. They do the media content day and all that stuff before they're actually on the ice. But third week of September. So you got Blues and Brews. Also, you have the Blues are going to be at the Cardinal game. I believe it's September 15th. Kevin Hayes, the newcomer, is going to throw out the first pitch, and be exciting to kind of see the new faces this year. And then we'll get into camp. So in terms of rumblings, nothing. I've been out to Centene just the one time talking to Colton Parayko, but nothing new until we start going out there on an everyday basis.
JR, you bring up Colton Parayko. You had that piece come out in The Athletic last week regarding Colton Parayko. What is the feedback that you've gotten from Blues fans or some of your readers when they dove into the article and read what Colton Parayko had said about, the fan base here and being a Blue? He wants to be a Blue for the rest of his career, all that stuff. What's some of the reactions?
Yeah, well, let me take you behind the scenes here a little bit. Riv, I sat down with Colton Parayko. We kind of had a chat before the interview started, and I said, hey, listen, way back when, and we'll go back to your days, Riv, and Keith Tkachuk, Dallas Drake, Doug Waite. As a reporter, you had the chance to go sit in the locker stall next to the guy for 20 minutes. They'd hang out and, just shoot the bull with you. And, that's kind of gone. Like, you don't have that as much. Today, it's kind of in and out, go to the podium. And I really haven't had a chance to sit down and have an in-depth conversation with Colton Parayko in a long time. And in the course of that time, I've written some things about, good candidate to trade. What's his ceiling? Is he a true number one? Rumblings about him on the move. And then you don't know how the player feels about any of that stuff. You don't know who reads, who doesn't read. So I took 5 or 10 minutes to have a conversation with Colton and just say, hey, listen, I've written some things and, guilty as charged on some of the criticism here. And he said, hey, no big deal. That's part of it. And then we just kind of had an open conversation about, how he's played, particularly last year, and what his role is, and then how he sees things. And I got to tell you, every question I asked about that, he answered perfectly. He said that, you don't really play. You think about being better for the fans. You just think about yourself being better as a player. And then with that, with your performance, maybe the fans will see that, you can handle yourself. So every opportunity he talked about, it was about hitting the reset button and being a better player for next year.
Hey, JR, building off of what you just said about Colton Parayko, I look at that the top four for the Blues, and I don't see any sort of individual rebound. I see almost the group either rebounding or not. Is that fair to kind of put the entire top four into one category and say they're either going to rebound and regroup as a top four, or they're not? And then Doug Armstrong's got a lot of decisions to be made, maybe heading into the trade deadline.
Yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from. I guess in order to have the growth and the progress, the bounce back year as a group, they're probably all going to have to be individually better than they were last year for that to be possible. So a little bit of a catch-22. Can they be successful if you have a Colton Parayko who has a great comeback year, but they don't get it from a Letty, a Krug, so on and so forth? You don't know. So I think like Colton Parayko said in the piece, when I asked him, hey, what's the true definition of a number one defenseman when you think about an Alex Pietrangelo or somebody like that? He said, we don't necessarily have that here. We have a guy who can do the PK, Torrey Krug, a guy that can play big minutes like myself against the other team's top line, Colton Parayko. He felt that Nick Leddy is one of the better skaters in the league and can handle his own. So he said incrementally he feels like they can piece it together, a good top four. We did not see that last year. There's going to have to be better performance by all four of these guys. But I think, to get back to your question, a couple of these guys have to have much, much better years. Like, I don't think this defense is going to get the job done if at least two of these guys just don't come back and turn in like comeback player of the year award players for the Blues.
JR, the Daily Faceoff had a little ranking out of every NHL team's prospect pool, and they list the St. Louis Blues not terribly far down the list, but nonetheless still at 16th in the NHL. They give them a B overall. I saw two teams ahead of them from the Central Division on this list. But, what's your opinion on where they stand now with the prospect pool, with the players that they've been able to pick up here in the last 2 years via the draft?
Yeah, first of all, I got to keep you reading The Athletic instead of the Daily Faceoff. No, we'll work on that. No,
I told him, JR,
yeah.
the guy won't listen. You know him.
Well, I like to read everything, Anthony.
Yeah, no.
Anthony's just jealous because he can't read.
That is
yeah, I used to every time Kelly Chase told me a good article, I used to say, "Who read it to you?" So
that's a great point. That's a great point.
Crap.
But
Valid.
no, I think that ranking is somewhere right around where the Athletic had them, 16 or 18, just a couple weeks ago. So I think right in that same spot. The Blues, because of them being a contending team and trading some first-round picks away over the years, they were always in that 25, 26 range. They were also promoting guys to the NHL and playing them at the same time when you go way back to the Oshie's, Berglunds, Bronze. So I think now that you have a situation where not only did they have 3 first-round picks this year, but they're landing on some of these picks. They're doing a really good job, Tony Feltrin and his staff. So I think that what you see on the horizon with Dalibor, Dvorsky, with some of these younger players that they have coming in to both prospect camp and some of them will be coming into training camp too, I think it does look good. So, yeah, I think you ask any prospect guru, where do the Blues rank? Nobody's going to say top 10, but I think that's just because that retool and this kind of change just started happening last year. So I think the Blues probably that's the highest they want to go in terms of prospect rankings, because if you climb any higher than the middle of the ranks, then it's probably because you struggled for another year or two. So this is about as high as you want to go, but I think it's looking pretty good right now.
JR, speaking of the Athletic, before we let you go, what are you working on?
Yeah, so we had the piece today, NHL players' favorite cheat foods, and I was going to ask Riv what his was. I know we might have touched on it a couple weeks ago, but some good things were brought up in the article. I think Brendan Dillon from Winnipeg said he's an Oreo cookie guy. He can do a milkshake up there in Vancouver in the off season. He said he could pound a box of Oreos in one sitting. So there's a bunch. I think we got 21 players to submit their favorite off season cheat meal. And Riv, I was going to ask you what yours is.
Currently, or when I was a player?
Well, let's go back to the playing days.
Yeah, probably a case of Budweiser.
I was about to say, does alcohol count as a cheat meal?
I don't really know if we had cheat meals. It was basically, I'll tell you this, JR. I'll remember my very first NHL training camp ever here in St. Louis. Uh-huh. And it was at the old Brentwood ice rink. And we went out there, we practiced, had the bag skate, because the coaches always did that, because some guys didn't even skate at all in the summer at that point. And following the practice, Brett Hull, Kelly Chase, Brendan Shanahan, Curtis Joseph, bunch of the dudes, Garth Butcher, were like, "Hey, kid, you coming to lunch?" I said, "Sure, I'm going to lunch." We went to the train wreck right there on Manchester. We ate wings and pounded beers until I don't even know what time of day it was. And then we showed up for camp the next day again. So things were a little different back then, JR. Now guys are talking about cheating, getting a milkshake in. Ooh, no.
Well, hey, it doesn't fall far from the tree, because we interviewed Matthew and Brady for this story, and Matthew said that he goes with OB's Dirty Wings, Obi Clark's Dirty Wings, and Brady dropped the bacon, cheese, egg and cheese sandwich from Old Warson Country Club. So they're giving. Shout out to St. Louis here. So.
I think that's healthy.
I'm actually, yeah. I mean, that's a good source of protein with the wings and the eggs.
Sure.
I mean,
Come on.
But yeah, check it out if you hadn't. There's a lot of stuff in there, and it's funny that we said that if we did a cheat meal for sports writers, that's every day. So
yeah, we'd almost have to talk about like what's the one thing that you eat healthy.
The cheat meal would be like vegetables.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your body. What's the thing that your body doesn't recognize? Like fruits and vegetables. JR, be good, man. We'll talk to you again next week.
all right, thanks, boys.
See
you,
ya.
buddy.
Jeremy Rutherford at JP Rutherford. He mentioned Blues and Brews. Join us, 101 ESPN and Bud Light for Blues and Brews Friday evening, September 22nd at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Get fired up for the blues season at this outdoor street party featuring live music from country music star Chris Lane and local blues musician Marquise Knox, plus appearances by blues players, Jamie.
Yeah, we got Bennington, Thomas, Shen, Falk, Kevin Hayes, Craig Berube. There'll be alumni guys there as well. Be a lot of fun.
This event's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've done something similar the last couple of years. Nothing to this extent. I mean, this is going to be fantastic, but it's always a lot of fun. So appearances again by blues players, alumni, food trucks, blues merch, 101 ESPN giveaways, and much more. Tickets are now on sale. So visit 101ESPN.com for additional event details and purchase your tickets for Blues and Brews on September 22nd. Lineup game next on 101 ESPN.
Buying a vehicle should be fun. It should be exciting. It should be stress-free. If you're not experiencing those things, then you're certainly not going to Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, because the Londoff family do an incredible job of making sure that not only do you get the best price available for you at the time, but they give you the most for your trade-in as well. That's a Londoff guarantee. Give you top dollar for your vehicle, no questions asked. Also, right now, currently, again, I've been a customer for over 20 years. Customer right now, today as well. They got beautiful Tahoe in. We're working some of the numbers, doing some magic. Johnny Londoff and his boys now over there, the family business. They're doing a fantastic job. Of course, they've got 2 locations now. The original location out in Florissant, Missouri, and the brand new Londoff Autoplex located out in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70. So please walk into either location. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They are going to treat you like family, because they do that for everybody. And you're going to have a great experience in buying your new vehicle or your pre-owned vehicles. If you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit Londoff.com or LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cards get a victory last night over the Atlanta Braves. Final score 10-6. Nolan Gorman with 2 home runs and Jordan Walker with a blast as well, his 15th of the year. The Cards are back in action tonight, taking on the Braves once again. Dakota Hudson on the mound going up against Spencer Strider. First pitch is at 6:20. We have our pitching matchup. We also have the lineup game coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at Londoff.com and LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Time to play the lineup game here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN as the Cardinals and Braves continue their series at Truist Park in Atlanta tonight. A little bit tougher assignment for the Cardinals.
Why?
Because Spencer Strider's on the mound.
He'll get his, too. Maybe.
Last 4 starts, he's basically been unhittable, Jamie. Unhittable.
It's time.
He's due.
Yeah.
6:20 start. Dakota Hudson takes the hill for the Cardinals. Spencer Strider, a right-hander, Jamie.
Yep. RHP. I don't see any reason why Ollie would screw all this up at this point. Do you? Right-handed pitcher yesterday. It's got to be the old pepper grinder. Show us Lars. Note bar.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm grinding.
I think you follow that right away with Paul Goldschmidt. Show us the gold.
Gold! Rich with gold! Gold!
Did our guy yesterday take Newt for Beat the Streak? I can't remember.
Yes, he did.
So because didn't Newt go 0 for 5? I know Ronald Acuna went over gopher.
How'd that work out?
Not well for me. I'll be starting over tonight.
Matt Olson got his RBI.
Yeah, he did. Look at him. Just an absolute juggernaut, Matt Olson.
Speaking of juggernaut, I think this guy stays the same, don't you?
What did he do last night?
Oh, just damage. We'll say that's it.
Go ahead, Jim. This is your guy. Go for it.
My guy. Storming Nolan Gorman.
There's a storm coming, Ari.
Jamie, if I could.
Yo, please do.
Show us Nolan Arenado.
Nolan is a security guard at the lumber yard.
All right, is this we going right back to the Big Willie?
I think so.
I mean, who wouldn't, right?
He scored 10 runs last night. Might as well.
I would. Go for it, Anthony.
Show us that Big Willie.
This one goes out to all the big willies.
Wilson, are you naked? No, Tim, I'm wearing a hat.
All right. Well, this last night was Tyler O'Neill, who also had the ding-dong Johnson.
Yeah, I don't think you change it. I think you go right back with Canadian bacon.
Show us Tyler O'Neill.
What a shame.
Oh, does Jordan Walker get elevated after that monster game?
Yes.
Does he just flip-flop those two?
Absolutely.
All right, show us that. Walk it like it's hot.
You are so wrong.
We got to get them off their feet, do we?
Burleson. Gotta be.
Tyler O'Neill, he can't play more than one in a row. So that's my bad.
That's true.
I should recognize that.
Well, he had that tough slide. I know he did. Sort of.
How much conflict
being snarky
was going through his mind? Hey, how much conflict going through Tyler O'Neill's brain at that moment?
Oh, his mind was a pretzel.
Yeah.
I mean, his arm
Do I not slide?
He was terrified.
Do I risk it? Do I try hard? Do I not?
They didn't even throw down.
Nah.
Didn't even throw it.
Huh.
Either way. His mind was utter gymnastics, thinking about whether or not to slide.
I like that he's taking bases. He has the speed. I feel like he should be stealing more bases.
He should. He's one of the fastest guys in all of Major League Baseball.
And ever, Bob.
Almost.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but still very fast.
Okay, so we said...
This is Burley.
Yeah, all right.
Give me that big Burley.
Some lefty-on-lefty magic from a guy like Nolan Gorman, who's hitting near you in the lineup.
What? This is so great.
What?
Okay, now where the hell do we go? Do you think it's Walker now?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're walking it like it's hot.
Please do.
Show us.
Like it's hot. Walk it like it's hot.
That was a premature celebration, Andrew. Although he is a younger guy. So, yeah, that's fine.
Wow.
I was just excited.
I know.
All right, I'm excited.
Sometimes when you're excited, it just happens.
All right, I'm excited.
Don't blame yourself.
No.
Happens too.
No,
You guys
can
were like,
fine.
let's
Happens to
walk
everybody.
it like it's hot. I'm
young
like,
guy
all
like
right,
you?
let's do it. And then, that's on me, though.
Young guy like him, bounce back right away.
He'll have plenty of chances.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No downtime for
I
him.
might even, get excited later in the show, and I'll be
get
ready to
excited
bounce
right
back.
away again. Who knows?
Absolutely.
It's a gift
It is.
to be that excited.
Keeps on giving.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Tommy Edman here.
Please.
Show us Tommy Edman.
Tommy likey. Tommy want wingy.
Got to be all win, 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 no?
Damn right it does.
Show me that winning shortstop.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Wow.
Okay. Run it, Marsh.
Wait, before we run it, Atlanta isn't turf, is it?
No.
Okay, just wondering. No reason.
All right, leading off in left field, Lars Taylor Tatsui Nukbar. Batting second, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Batting third, second baseman Nolan Gorman. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman Nolan Arenado. Batting fifth, catching Wilson Contreras. Batting sixth, the DH Alec Burleson. Batting seventh in right field, Jordan Walker. Batting eighth, center fielder Tommy Edman. And batting ninth, the shortstop Mason Wynn.
Back. Stay fair! Stay fair, stay fair!
Go fair, go fair!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
Okay. Jamie, you nearly had one last night. Tyler O'Neill got in the way, or else you would have had one.
Yeah, now he's hurt again. I mean, he's not playing. My bad. I shouldn't assume things. What?
Go ahead, Jamie.
I'm going right back to the well. Spencer Strider on the bump. I think he's going to make a mistake right away. He's going to be too cocky. He's been way too good for this entire league. How dare he challenge the Cardinals?
Freaking Cy Young candidate.
And their left-handed bombzilla. Nolan Gorman, please.
Okay, Marsh.
I'm going to go with Lars Nootbaar. I think he's going to bounce back after last night's game. Spencer Strider, high fastball inside. Newt's going to come around and smoke one down the line. Right field line and hit a home run.
Okay. I'm going to go with Nolan Arenado. He's going to hit a laser beam. Knock somebody out probably in the bleachers out in left field.
Sharks with freaking laser beams.
Yeah. All right.
Fire the laser.
There you have it. There's your lineup game. There's your home run derby for tonight's game. Cardinals and Braves.
Guys, true or not, text or troll on this one from the 636, and the text line's usually always right. Said, apparently O'Neill complained about the muddiness of the field yesterday after the game.
No.
I didn't hear it, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Come on. No way.
I don't know. It's a text line, guys.
Yeah.
It's gospel.
The muddiness.
Yeah.
I didn't see any mud. Did you guys?
I didn't either, but that doesn't mean that he didn't say it.
Yeah. It's true.
Do they think maybe in between innings they took the sprinklers out there
Oh,
and was watering
confirmed.
the dirt?
It's been confirmed.
Text line's like, yes, he did. He did. Well, that explains things.
Okay. Hey, let's hand out some Guns N' Roses tickets, shall we? You have an opportunity to see Guns N' Roses this Saturday night at Busch Stadium. That's right. We got your chance right now. Tickets for the show are now on sale, and you can get 4 select tickets to see Guns N' Roses with special guest The Pretenders for just $90. That's it, just $90. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/Guns N' Roses or text in 314-399-9646 for your chance to win free tickets to the show. Here's your question for today. Where did Axl Rose grow up? What state did Axl Rose grow up? This one's tricky. You wouldn't...
Confusion.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But we're looking for one of the 50 states.
Oh, well, you got to clarify,
Yep.
Anthony.
Sorry. Yeah, not the mental state. Just talking about, an actual state.
Okay.
One of the 50.
All right.
Here in America.
My confusion was first, inebriation was second.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, good call on that. So if you have the correct answer...
Maine, no.
If you have the correct answer, I'll give you a hint. It's not Maine.
What?
If you have the correct answer, text in. If you're the 101st texter, 314-399-9646, you're going to go see Guns N' Roses this Saturday.
What's your favorite Guns N' Roses song, Anthony?
Rocket Queen.
What? Is that even a song of theirs?
Yes.
What does it go like? Sing a little bit for me.
Nah, I can't do that. Yeah.
Why? If it's such a good song, you should be able to sing
It's outstanding. Marshall, pull it up.
A Rocket Queen?
Yeah, Rocket Queen.
Are we even talking music anymore?
It's an outstanding song.
Marshy, what's your favorite Guns N' Roses song?
Probably Sweet Child of Mine. Sweet Child of Mine.
Can't go wrong with that.
No.
Can't go wrong with November Rain. Can't go wrong with Welcome to the Jungle.
If you have a
Great
Guns N'
song.
Roses song that's like a workout song and one that's like a mellow song, I think Paradise City for me, for like, take me down to the paradise. Just like, and then the remake of Bob Dylan's Knocking on Heaven's Door.
That one's excellent.
That one, my friend.
Yeah.
18-hour bus ride, and you're listening, and you're looking out the window, and do you feel like there's no hope at all for anything, Anthony? That's when you listen to that.
That is a great cover. I'll give you that.
Yep.
Yeah. Check out Rocket Queen. You're going to love it.
I just Googled it. It says, it's like, sorry, we don't have anything.
You can also find a bonus chance to win tickets at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. Sports Six-Pack. We probably shouldn't do the Sports Six-Pack right now. We're just handing out some tickets. So why don't we play Are You Sold next on 101 ESPN?
FanDuel Sportsbook, baby. It is time for the NFL, and they always have incredible offers, which is why they're America's #1 sportsbook. That's right. We only deal with the best here in the fast lane, and we want new customers to bet $5. Why? Because FanDuel's giving you $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's not it, Anthony. All customers at this point, not just new ones, all customers who bet $5 get $100 off Anthony's NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV.
Are you kidding me? You know you're going to get the NFL Sunday ticket. You know you're going to be betting on FanDuel. You know that you're going to be checking out tomorrow's lines with the Lions and the Chiefs and looking at same-game parlay options at FanDuel. No better time to sign up if you haven't already. Sign up right now. Visit FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. Kick off the NFL season with an offer that you won't want to miss. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. NFL Sunday ticket offer. It ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday ticket. Not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel any time.
Congratulations to Jim, who won the Guns N' Roses tickets. He's going to go see him on Saturday night at Busch Stadium on us here at 101ESPN.com. Such a big concert. We're giving away another set of tickets.
When?
Later on in the show.
Oh, better stay tuned.
So we asked the question last segment, and Jim nailed it. It was, where did Axl Rose grow up? Which state did he grow up? Correct answer is Indiana. He grew up in Indiana, Lafayette, Indiana.
Now, if you also answered confusion, you were in the running.
You were in the running. You also needed to be you're the 101st texter.
And you would have answered confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have another set of tickets to give away for Guns N' Roses. Just stay right here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. By the way, breaking news, 49ers and Nick Bosa have agreed to a 5-year, $170 million deal. 122.5 of it is guaranteed. 122.5 million guaranteed, according to ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter. Highest paid defensive player in NFL history now.
I'm just wondering, I mean, look, inflation's up. How is Nick Bosa going to make ends meet?
You got boat payments, you got boat insurance, you've got yacht insurance. Yeah. You got to pay
your staff, so you got to keep it clean. You got to pay your agent. Got to pay the cable.
I mean, you're talking about a mansion. So
think about how much internet's being used in that mansion.
Honestly, I feel bad for him.
What does he make it 1 or 2 years with that number of money? Then he's going to be out Home Depot, right? Getting a job?
Year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. Then he'll work in the lumber yard.
Yeah.
With Nolan.
They can. It's a good job for him. He's got that raw power.
Yeah.
Carry a lot of lumber.
Oh yeah. Kid knows what he's doing. So good call on that, Jimmy.
God, he's a good player. Good for him.
Man, they made it kind of close, didn't they?
There was never any doubt. Come on.
I didn't think so,
There's any doubt. He'll be in the lineup on Sunday, too. Just go kill the quarterback. That's your job.
By the way, Chris Jones also hopes, he's still hoping for a new deal, but he could play tomorrow night.
Well, Chris Jones, what's going to happen here, everything's going to fall into place. Mm-hmm. Because of the Nick Bosa deal, that the Chiefs just go, listen, you're not Nick Bosa. You're good, but you're not Nick Bosa. I mean, let's be honest, right? It's like in any other sport.
They can't pay him that anyways.
You're good, but you're not Mike Trout. You're good, but you're not Shohei Ohtani. You're good, but you're not Wayne Gretzky, right? Like, Nick Bosa is the best defensive player in the NFL, I think.
Yeah, Chris Jones is right there, though.
I know. So you're good, but you're not quite him.
Yeah.
I think it helps.
You're
trying to help the Chiefs, Anthony. What's your problem?
Are you trying to help the Chiefs, huh?
Yeah.
Who are you rooting for tomorrow night there, Lion fan?
The Lions.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The Chiefs need all the help they can get. They're not without Travis Kelce, too.
In about 10 minutes, we're going to talk to somebody that's going to tell us whether or not we should be all in on the Lions. Jamie already is, but let's play Are You Sold? Marsh, what do you got for us?
All right, guys. So Mizzou football on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it these days. They tweeted out next week's game versus K-State is officially sold out thanks to the best fans in the country. It is a first sellout since October 12th of 2019 and a homecoming win over Ole Miss. That's thanks to Power Mizzou. Are you guys sold on this being the most hyped season for Mizzou football, in my opinion, since the Chase Daniel days?
Why?
I'll give it the most hyped under Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah, otherwise, I still don't know what we're hyped about.
I can't.
Well, we're not hyped. I think Mizzou fans are hyped.
We beat San Diego State. Ooh, let's order the rings.
You didn't even beat San Diego State. You beat South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah. South Dakota
San Diego State would have been.
Yeah, sorry. I had the SD and
it's all good.
Head trauma's real.
It's Jamie. That's why we're here. That's why Marsh and I. That's why Marsh and I are here. Okay.
Hey, I'm not one to make fun of getting names incorrect.
Jamie, you're in a safe place. Okay.
Am I though?
You're in a safe place. Anyways, no, I don't think that this season is any more hyped than it was when they were coming off the SEC championship appearance against Auburn.
Mm-hmm. But what are we hyped about this year? Like, someone help me. What are we hyped?
We are not hyped as much as the fans are hyped.
Marsha, I didn't mean like you, me, and Anthony. I was including all of the like, what are they so hyped about? Like, what is there to be hyped about? You still don't really know who the hell your quarterback truly is. You don't know if Eli Drinkwitz's offense is actually going to play in the SEC. Like, what are they hyped about?
I get what you're saying, and I completely agree with what you're saying.
I think they're
like, if there was something to be hyped about, I'd be like, I'm all in.
The Mizzou fans, they're always excited, as you should be.
Let's view it from their perspective.
100%.
Okay. This is year, 4 for Drink? He has recruited very well, especially for where the program is. He has recruited well. You've got a lot of exciting skill position players led by Luther Burden. Defense should be very good. So, yeah, I think Mizzou fans should be excited.
I like the fact that they're happy and they believe in the team, and that's great. They're coming off a big first victory, but I just don't understand the hype train.
Yeah.
Yet.
You and me both.
All
brother.
right.
But
I think, the stadium being sold out speaks for itself, though, that these fans are ready for the year to
It's wonderful. I love that
going.
crap. I do. I mean, I do. I love, you know what? I don't care. I played for some bad teams in my day, Anthony. They're not always that bad when you sell out. Your fans are into it. The college kids are partying and doing their thing. Like,
no doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all that, I love that.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Are you sold? This is from the Air Comfort Service text line. Are you sold on Tommy Edman as the best center fielder on the roster?
As of right now, yeah. Who's better? A couple of great catches again last night.
Who's our guy down in Memphis?
Victor Scott. Is he in Memphis yet, or is he still in Springfield?
I think he's in Springfield.
He is, Anthony. Well, you have to badmouth the kid.
Come on, you trying to... What are you trying to do here?
What the heck?
Anthony,
answered your question. Now I'm against the kid?
This is not a safe space anymore.
See, you just admitted it.
All right. Anyways.
Yeah, he's your best center fielder right now.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we'll do this a little
And
bit
probably
later.
your best second baseman. Right, fielder.
Yeah. Sean Baligian, my good buddy from Detroit's going to join us.
Hometown boy.
He has covered the Lions for a very long time. He used to call, I don't know if he still does, he used to call Detroit Lions fans slappies. Slappies.
Don't tell us why. I want him to tell us why.
All right. Should we buy into the Lions? We talked to Adam Teicher yesterday from KC. He covers the Chiefs. Now we're going to get the Lions' perspective ahead of tomorrow night's game.
Better buy in, or Dan Campbell's going to visit your room in nightmares.
Next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with former Blues defenseman Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 3:01. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We're not quite 24 hours away from kickoff of the NFL season, but it's going to be a great one tomorrow night at Arrowhead Stadium as the Lions, the much-hyped Lions, take on the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Joining us right now via our celebrity line is my good buddy Sean Baligian. When I first got into radio, I worked with Sean, who's one of the best dudes in radio, works for WJR in Detroit and hosts the night show for them and has covered the Lions for a long time. Shawnee B, how are you?
Hey, pleasure to chat with you again, my friend. Thanks for having me, fellas.
All right, Sean, before we get into the Lions talk, which I'm really excited to talk about the Lions because my guy Dan Campbell, just love the guy. How are our Red Wings looking up there this year? I mean, Stevie Yzerman's got the Yzer plan going. Are we believing or not?
Yeah, it's interesting because take a look at this division. I mean, this division is just an absolute bear. I know Boston lost some key parts, but, I mean, they're still going to be outstanding. Tampa isn't going anywhere. Toronto, I mean, God forbid Toronto actually shows something beyond the first round. I mean, they look so good. And then you've got Florida. Montreal's going to be better. So, I mean, this division is going to be tough. In playoffs, maybe. I think bringing in a guy like DeBrincat, I had a chance to see him in junior. The kid scores. I mean, that's what he does. And, you're talking about a player now that 15, 20 years ago, guys like Caulfield, guys like DeBrincat weren't going to be able to get their goals. I mean, just the way the game was played. But now you're watching these smaller snipers, really make a good living in this league and just pump the net full of goals. So it's intriguing. The team's going to be better, but so is the whole division. I think the Atlantic this year is really going to be a division to watch because, like I said, everybody's still right there. Montreal's going to be better. Detroit's going to be better. Ottawa, Buffalo were this close last year. Going to be very interesting this year.
Well, you know what else is going to be interesting is the fact that Detroit's going to have the Red Wings that are going to be a better team, and now the Lions that last year was quite a year for the Lions. What can we expect this year? Because there's been a lot of hype surrounding the Lions. Anthony, some days he believes, some days he doesn't. I'm not sure where his head's at completely. I'm a believer. I adopted the Lions last year. They're my youngest now of all the teams that I support. What are we looking at here for as far as a record for this team maybe? Or do they have a chance to win the division?
I think the division is there for the taking, and I think that's the biggest piece of bait that's sitting out there. You have to remember, for guys like me and Anthony and a lot of people that grew up Detroit Lion fans, misery is part of our DNA. It really is, and I say this to people all the time because in St. Louis, how much of you guys actually followed the Lions over the years? The Lions have one playoff win in the Super Bowl era. One. That's it. Oof, and when you say that to people, they're like, yeah, that's funny. And I'm like, I didn't make that up. That's a real thing. So we've been burned. We've been jaded for so many years. So I can't blame Anthony or anybody else for going, okay, I've seen this before. But what I would do instead is say, take a look at their roster. The job that Brad Holmes has done, flipping this roster in 2 years' time, is incredible. I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen a roster this deep. In the past, the Lions had, some special players, and it starts with Barry Sanders, obviously. But you've never seen the depth across the board like you do with this roster. And I think that brings up hope. I think this offense is going to be dynamic. And, I keep using the term up here. It's like Burger King. Have it your way. Which way do you want us to burn you? Gibbs is going to be a guy that, he's a running back in name only at camp, guys. I watched him line up at receiver. I watched him line up in the slot. He is going to be almost like a prep player, like an athlete, just a guy that goes out there and makes some plays. Defensively, I'm still worried about the run game. That's one thing that hasn't gone away. But Brad saw how poor the secondary was last year and went out and addressed it and got proven commodities to come here to Detroit to help shore that up. So you add it all together, I really, truly believe it's the best team in what is not a very good NFC North. And so with that being said, I think a lot of people are saying, hey, we got to win the division. And that's something the Lions haven't done in 30 years.
Sean Baligian is our guest here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Sean covers all things Detroit sports for 760 WJR in Detroit. Sean, I do want to ask you, because this is a passionate sports fan base here in St. Louis. I know firsthand in Detroit, it's the same deal. Blue collar, they love their teams, diehard fans, regardless of whether or not the team is good or not. So I do want to ask you about the fans, but I got to say this. When you're saying everything and you're excited, and we were talking about how impressive some of the pieces are for the Lions, I did not hear anything about the defense. How much improved could this defense be? Because I think that's kind of where the season hangs in the balance. No.
Well, no. You know what? I'm still terrified about the run defense, guys. I really am. To me. I'll go back to what Brad did in the offseason. Brad saw that the pass secondary was a problem and went out and signed a bunch of pieces. And you know what? I really look at, and by the way, proven commodities as well. So I look at the pass defense as being greatly improved. I'm terrified about the run game, and I'm one of the few here, but I can't get it out of my head. You guys have no reason to remember this. There was a game on Christmas Eve. Carolina did whatever they wanted against the Lions on the ground, and we saw that a few times during the course of the season, and it made your head explode. I think the active quarterback is going to give them fits as well. You saw Justin Fields do that to them last year, but no doubt about it. I mean, this team is not without its holes, and I'll reiterate, I really am still worried about the run defense. Until I see them actually executed on the field, that's the only way that's going to make this go away. I'm not as worried about the pass secondary. I saw the pieces that he brought in at camp. I think, again, they're proven commodities. But, yeah, that run defense is fresh in the minds of a lot of people. Yours truly.
All right, Sean. So, as you mentioned, the Lions fan base has been tortured and burned constantly. How excited are they, though? And can you compare what the hype is going into this football season? Can you compare it to any other time that you've been on radio in Detroit?
Well, the only other time I can compare it to is before I was, on radio and doing the television stuff. In 91, the Lions went 12-4, went to the NFC Championship. They won their only playoff game, as we mentioned, beating the Dallas Cowboys. And I still remember Pat Summerall saying during that game, John, I think we're looking at the two teams of the 90s. Well, 3 Super Bowl later, the Dallas Cowboys lived up to that, and the Lions didn't get another playoff win. And heading into 92, there was an incredible excitement about that team. And unfortunately, some guy named Jim Harbaugh, whatever happened to him, threw a touchdown on the last play of the game, and the Bears beat the Lions in the first game. And I think, Anthony, the whole Detroit area did the, oh, no, here we go again aspect. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can compare it to, really. In my time being in the business, I don't think there's anything to compare it to. The tickets have been sold out for months. That's something that you don't see around here. And the preseason games were absolutely packed. They had 2 preseason games at home. The secondary market right now for the Lions is incredible. It's amazing looking at some of the prices out there. The one thing you can say about this fan base is as much as they've been kicked, boy, they love their football and they love their Lions and they support the Lions. I've never seen it like this, though. I've never, ever, ever have seen it like this. The expectations are incredible.
So, Sean, would it be safe to say or fair to say that, yes, the on-field, roster building by the GM's been fantastic, but that one of the biggest missing pieces before Dan Campbell got there was Dan Campbell? Because I remember playing 100%. In Detroit for the Red Wings, and it is so blue collar that people would just gravitate to a guy like Dan Campbell. And what he's been able to do with this team has been fantastic from an on-field standpoint, but also the off-field, where the fans have been just buying in left and right to Dan Campbell bringing out a real lion for training camp and all this craziness. Now, is Dan Campbell, in your opinion, does the coaching match, the hype? Because obviously you look at this guy, he's a monster. He talks crazy. He does a lot of fun stuff. The players love him. But does the coaching match the hype when it comes to Dan Campbell?
You know, and you know this better than anybody as a professional athlete. I think the term culture has become bastardized over the years. But in Dan Campbell's case, I'm going to make an exception. He took over a franchise that there has been a culture problem with this franchise for decades, not a decade. I'm talking plural decades. There really has been. And to change it as quickly as he did was absolutely remarkable. And part of the reason that he changed it, and this goes back to the point you were making, is he puts his faith in these guys. He has made some questionable calls. He has done some head-scratching, 4th and 5s and 4th and 3. Guys, I believe in you. We're going for it. Where as well as I do, where the fan base is going to go damned if you do, damned if you don't. If it doesn't work, this guy's the dumbest guy on earth. But the guys know that he believes in them and he trusts them and he puts them in positions to succeed. And you have really watched that materialize in the last couple of years. So there's no doubt about that. You are talking about Dan Campbell being the personification, literally the poster child for the rejuvenated Lions. I'm apt to say I don't think Brad Holmes gets enough credit here because of the strength of Dan Campbell and what he's done. Because it takes two to tango. He's done such a great job, bringing the talent in here and making the most of the draft. But, boy, the heavy lifting and changing that culture and getting guys to buy in, that's squarely on Dan Campbell's broad shoulders.
Sean, I couldn't believe when I saw social media that you were having a beer with Jack. I remember doing remotes back in Detroit when he was up to my shin, and now you're having a beer with him. I can't believe it. Where's the time gone, man?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. It's one just turned 24. My daughter just started at Michigan State with her freshman year. I mean, Time flies, and yet the one consistent is the Lions haven't been able to win a division, and they've only won one playoff game. So here we are.
Well, maybe that'll change this year.
The more they stay the same.
Yeah.
Sean, one last thing.
I really think they're going to win the division, boys. It put me on record. I really do. I don't know how far they're going to go. There are still some issues with this team. As I said, I think the run defense is one big issue, but put me on record. I think this looks like an 11-win team, and I think they're going to win the NFC North and finally host a home playoff game, which they haven't been able to do in Ford Field's history.
Well, you kind of answered my question there. I was going to ask you, well, not just about the division, but, about the conference. This is a very winnable conference for a number of teams. I think there's 3 or 4 teams you look at and go, they could win this conference. In your opinion, what would have to go right for the Lions to win the conference? Because there are good teams, the Eagles being one of them. The Saints are going to be a better team. Yeah. You look across the board, there are some teams out there.
Yeah, there are. I think, I hate to keep going back to this, the run defense. I watched Philly slice them up in the past. I mentioned the Carolina game, and I think they could be pretty sneaky this year as well, quite frankly. But I think if you get even an acceptable, I'm not even talking about a great run defense. If you get an acceptable run defense, boy, the Lions could make a run. They really could. And, Seattle's another team that just ran all over them last year. Seattle did whatever they wanted to Detroit last year, and it's tough to get those images out of your head. But as the season progressed, I think the Lions were a different team from early in the season when they played Seattle. But I'm going to go back to that. If you get an acceptable run defense, this Lion team is going to score some points, guys. I really like this offense, and this is, I'm saying that even knowing that Jameson Williams is going to miss 6 weeks. I think they've got a lot of different pieces that can hurt you and hurt you in a myriad of ways. So you shore up that run defense a little bit. Lions are going to be tough for anybody to beat, and I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth.
Sean, you're a blast, man. Always love having you on the show. If you want to check out Sean, WJR does the night show. You guys are on at 6 or 7 Eastern.
7 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Sorry about that. So, let's do it again. Nice chatting with you guys.
Yeah, you too, Sean. Thank you. We'll see you.
All right.
That's Sean Baligian here in the Fast Lane. He's awesome. He was
that guy's your friend?
Yeah. Well, I say he's my friend.
way
Sean
better than
probably
you.
is not. Oh, there's no question.
Can he come and do radio here with me?
We'll figure that out. Yeah.
I'm willing to make the trade.
Okay. Send me back to Detroit. You can come down.
You know
he's
what?
outstanding.
I'm glad you offered.
What happened? What just happened there?
He's great. I loved his energy, his enthusiasm, and he was saying all the right things to me, who's a big Lions fan.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. He was talking right to your heart.
100%.
He was the first guy I met in radio, and he couldn't have been more down to earth. Like just.
Well, is he actually from Detroit? Because my God, does he have Canadian accent?
I know. Yeah. Well, he's a huge.
We're going to go from here, and I was like, I almost asked him, like, are you from Canada? Like, some of those guys who grew up in Windsor, they go over work in Detroit.
Yeah. I think he's from Livonia.
Good old.
I think he's from Livonia.
Yeah.
But he's a massive, massive Montreal Canadiens fan.
Poor guy.
Yeah. He'll talk about that misery too.
Yeah.
So poor guy Pitt. I mean, the Red Wings. You get the Red Wings and their history. Yet he was a Canadiens fan. He's a Lions fan. He's a Michigan State fan. Like he's just an absolute Detroit honk. But he does great stuff.
Yeah, he does.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Why don't we? What do we do here, Jane? We got Kyle Hiebert coming up in about 15 minutes or so. So why don't we do the NHL prospect pool rankings? We had talked about this with JR. Let's dive into that next on 101 ESPN. So the Daily Faceoff ranked every NHL team prospect pool 1 to 32. Number 1, the Blackhawks, and I guess it's not much a surprise, guys, but I won't run through all these because we got Kyle Hiebert coming up in less than 10 minutes, but I'll jump right to the Blues. The Blues got a B. They're number 16. Blues began selling off pieces last year, as we know. That helped the Blues in a big way, landing 3 of their top 10 prospects at the 2023 NHL Draft. Do you guys think that's fair? 16th, B. Talking about some of the key players being Dvorsky and Bolduc and Jimmy Snuggerud.
Oh, I think it's more than fair. Absolutely. I mean, look, the St. Louis Blues have had the good fortune of not being at the top of this list for many years because the fact that you're winning. At that point, you're making playoffs. You're high up in league standings. So a lot of the teams that are on this list ahead of them are teams that have stumbled quite a bit. Like the Chicago Blackhawks are number 1. Well, no kidding. They end up with Connor Bedard for one thing, but they've also been crap for a number of years. So they've been able to stockpile young players through the draft because they've been poor. They've not been a good team. In fact, our guy JR, Jeremy Rutherford, was on earlier, and he went into detail about the Blues drafting at a higher spot than normal, and so the reason why they haven't been very high on this list. So here's what JR had to say about the prospects.
I think that ranking is somewhere right around where the Athletic had them, 16 or 18 just a couple weeks ago. So I think right in that same spot. You know, the Blues, because of them being a contending team and trading some first-round picks away over the years, they were always in that 25, 26 range. They were also promoting guys to the NHL and playing them at the same time when you go way back to the O'Shea's, Berglunds, Bronze. So I think now that you have a situation where not only did they have 3 first-round picks this year, but they're landing on some of these picks. They're doing a really good job, Tony Feltrin and his staff. So I think that what you see on the horizon with a Dalibor, Dvorsky, with some of these younger players that they have coming in to both prospect camp and some of them will be coming into training camp too, I think it does look good.
Yeah, it does. And it's good. You know what? Kudos to Army and his scouting staff and all the front office for doing a good job of always having some pretty good prospects, even though you're drafting low in the first round. I mean, look at some of the players that you've been able to turn out in the last decade. And this team has been successful for the most part in the last decade. They've been a playoff contending team, heck, a Stanley Cup champion. And Army's still been able to kind of keep the cupboards going with good players. Now they're at a spot. Last year, I will say the cupboards were a little bare, getting a little scarce. So it's not like they needed a losing season. But if you weren't going to win the Stanley Cup, the last year probably wasn't a bad thing because you were able to make some trades. Tarasenko, O'Reilly, Barbashev. You're able to get some picks, some young guys back. You're able to get 3 picks in the first round for the draft. You use those picks very wisely.
Right.
So now's the time to start turning the corner, and next year and the year after, you'd like 16 to turn to 21 to turn to 25. That means you're back in the playoff race. That means that these young players have come to fruition, too. It means guys like Jimmy Snuggerud and Dalibor Dvorsky have made an impact on your roster. What that impact is, I don't know, to be determined. And another guy like Zachary Bolduc and Zach Dean, who you acquired in the Barbashev trade, watching him skate, being on the ice with him, this kid's got a lot of talent. He can shoot a friggin' puck, I'll tell you that much. And, you know, according to a lot of the scouts in front office, Al McInnes in particular, say he's a buzzsaw out there, never stops. He's running into bodies, getting to the front of the net, causing havoc out there. So although with somebody else's prospect, he's now yours. Mm-hmm. And if he's able to challenge for a spot come training camp, that's great. But if not, you're going to have a wave of players hit your roster in the next 2 to 3 years from this year, from Doug Armstrong managing the bad situation properly. You'll have a wave of players that now become the next group of players to be your core because he did it the right way. And that's why it's important to sometimes identify where you're at as a team and not trade to get that player to hang on for dear life, your fingernails. You're just praying, please, can we make the playoffs? I think that'll be this year. I don't think Army wants to miss the playoffs 2 years in a row. But because he was able to identify what they needed to do, who they had to trade, he was able to do this and work his magic and get some players back in return. And now the future looks pretty good for the Blues. So hats off to Doug Armstrong and the Blues for doing a good job. 16 and a B. I mean, I think if Army rolled out of bed this morning and saw this, he's pretty happy with himself.
No doubt. This is Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. We're going to talk to Kyle Hiebert next. We do need a Gauntlet contestant, though. Gauntlet comes up at 4 o'clock. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Text in Gauntlet if you want to play in the Gauntlet. And if you haven't played in a while or have never played, you might have your opportunity to take on Marsh, Jamie, or myself coming up at 4 o'clock. But Kyle Hiebert's going to join us next. We'll talk a little St. Louis City soccer with him here on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals defeat the Atlanta Braves last night by a final score of 10-6. Nolan Gorman with 2 home runs. Jordan Walker with a home run as well, his 15th of the year. The Cardinals will be back in action tonight as Dakota Hudson takes the mound going up against Spencer Strider. First pitch is at 6:20. We talked earlier today with Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic, who covers your St. Louis Blues, and Sean Baligian, who covers the Detroit Lions, sports radio host in Detroit. If you missed any of those interviews, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. You can find all of our interviews and the full show there. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We're scheduled to be joined by Kyle Hiebert, defender for St. Louis City SC, who fell 2-1 to Sporting KC last Saturday at Children's Mercy Park. When we went to Great Wolf Lodge out in Kansas City, I saw that stadium. It sits right there with like same location as Kansas Motor Speedway or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's crap. It looks disgusting.
The whole thing. It's awful.
I have no interest in that Sporting
freaking Kansas.
KC. You know what the C stands for, right? Crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's right there in the bylaws.
Yeah.
They call it, yep. Mm-hmm.
They don't even, this Kansas crap is what they call it.
Yeah. Good news is, for St. Louis City SC, after 27 games, still remain top of the MLS Western Conference with 47 points. What an inaugural season for St. Louis City SC.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's been fun.
Thank you, Lionel Messi, too, by the way. He stepped up and hammered LAFC.
There you go.
So it kept them. We didn't win, neither did they.
Who hasn't he hammered?
You know what, Anthony? You're right. I have seen his portfolio. He's hammered a lot.
Has he scored a goal a game?
That guy's scoring all the time.
Constantly.
Constantly.
Doesn't matter what.
Quite honestly, I don't even know how he has legs to run out there anymore.
Doesn't matter what night it is either. He's just going to score.
Have you seen anybody sort of take over a sport like he has here, at least in America with the MLS? Like, did Wayne Gretzky do that back in the day where he just kind of stepped in when he came from the WHA?
Does Tiger count?
Tiger Woods kind of close.
Because if Tiger counts, then it's Tiger Woods.
But Tiger doesn't count because that's an individual sport.
Well, that's what I asked.
Yeah, no, but I think your thought process is right to the success he had right away, like in a sport, like, hey, guess what, I'm here type thing. Mm-hmm. But where it falls short for me is it's individual. These guys, they actually have to rely on other people to, like, look at Connor McDavid. How long has it taken the Oilers to get good? Mm-hmm. Even though he was the best player in the world, you can't do it all by yourself.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to take over a sport. It's hard to take over hockey. It's hard to take over football. I would say it's impossible, quite frankly.
It's difficult, but Lionel Messi has done that. Yeah. This guy's unbelievable. And I understand that the MLS, let's just be honest, it's not the same level of competition where he's played the majority of his career.
You bite your tongue.
Okay, well, I'll bite it. I just try to be honest to our listeners. But still, Lionel Messi's come in and absolutely dominated.
Yeah, he is. I don't think you can. I mean, Jordan maybe.
But still, look at the teams that Jordan had.
Right. I think we're going to do that with any player. Like even Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady, his first couple of Super Bowls. The defense, on top of the defense.
He did have one Super Bowl where he literally had a bunch of no-names, pretty much. Like, it was the Amendola, Edelman, like, they were good players, but they were like, they weren't like Randy Moss and like those type players.
Yeah, the best team that he ever played on.
Never won it.
Didn't win.
No.
Well, won every game except the one.
For the one they needed to, Anthony.
Well.
It's because the Giants cheated.
I don't think they did, Jamie.
They did.
I don't think so.
That one guy had stickum on his helmet. It's highly illegal.
I don't think he did. Anyways, let's talk to our guy, Kyle Hiebert, who joins us right now via our celebrity line, our 101 ESPN celebrity line. Kyle, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you, fellas?
We're doing great. So, unfortunately, you guys coming off the 2-1 loss to Sporting KC. But I wanted to ask you about Klaus coming back. So Klausdale, he's back now. It's been a couple of games, and I know he hasn't had a full game yet. But what does he do for your offense now that he's back? We know what he did beforehand, but now that he has come back, how have things changed for you guys offensively with Klaus?
Yeah, he is just does such an excellent job of all just sticks to him. You get in an area near him, and he's so good about not just, a win after or a flick, but it just hits his chest, it drops to his feet, takes the ball down. He uses his body really well. So having that outlet up top where you can just find him, he can hold the first one and then connect off of him, I think it's huge for us.
Now, your offense, too, in the absence of Klaus, there's a lot of guys that have stepped up. Obviously, Giacchino was one of them, but also Adeniran. Yes, Samuel Adeniran comes in, and he's been fantastic for you guys. And he scores the one goal against KC the other night. I thought the offside was called a little bit tight. I think it was offside, but quite honestly, I would have let it go. But that would have been another goal for him. Now, how great is it to have multiple players that you can count on offensively?
Yeah, no, I think it's exactly what we need as a team is that depth there. And especially with Sam and Nico, and Klaus, they all offer something. They're different strikers, that they all, a lot of the similarities in terms of, they're all hardworking guys, big guys, especially Sam and Klaus. And then especially in transition, Sam's game is built in transition. So when we're on the road, having him as an outlet, we connect the first pass. Indy plays him in behind. He's off to the races. And then he's just constantly a weapon for us in behind the opposition, which stretches them and provides us with great counterattacking opportunities.
Kyle, how frustrating is it sometimes when the officials just seem to not get it right? Because I'm watching that game the other night, and for me, there was a clear foul on one of the tackles in midfield area. It clears up a spot for Sporting KC to go down. Ultimately, they end up scoring on that play. How frustrating is that for you guys, and how do you overcome it? How do you get past that?
Yeah, that game especially, that was a hard pill to swallow. With everything that went on, I know it's being addressed at levels above my head, and so that's reassuring. And I think it's just, you want to get caught up in it, but as a player, you just can't. You just don't have any control over it. So it's really trying to refocus the mindset and dial back in. But I'm not going to lie. There was definitely a locker room of frustration there after the game and during as well.
So who steps up in those moments? I know you got some great leaders on your team, but it always seems like there's one or two guys that kind of say, hey, boys, got to park it. Forget about it. Put it in the rearview mirror, and let's pull up our socks here because we got the rest of the game to go here. Who are some of those guys?
Yeah, I think, the guys who started that game, Roman and Tim, are guys who have been, our leaders and our captains from the beginning of the season, and they're both good about, moving on to the next play. And as captains, they do have that right to, express, what you're feeling. And I think that's even a difference to kind of European soccer to American soccer. In European soccer, you're given almost more right to, it's a game of emotion, to, be able to show your emotions and feel the game. And, there is frustration there. But those guys do a great job, amongst many others, of just getting us, in the right headspace and onto the play.
Kyle Hiebert of St. Louis City SC joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kyle, we had mentioned Roman Berkey, and you guys, it's a team effort. Berkey seems to make those unbelievable saves. Every half, it seems like. You have faced now a lot of keepers, not only throughout your career, but a lot throughout this season. What does Roman Berkey do from a keeper standpoint that no other keeper in the league does?
Yeah, I think he rises to the level of shots that he's facing or to the level of opposition, and he rises above it. You'll see a very high standard in training, and then it just seems like that standard, gets even higher in the games. And so he's the full, well-rounded keeper. There's a off our coach's room where they sit and they watch, film and break stuff down. There's a side room where you'll go and you'll watch film. And on that, there's, some stuff on the whiteboard with some formations. And then to the right of it, there's this picture. And it says the St. Louis City goalkeeper profile. And someone has just taken a photo of Roman, cut it out, and glued it on the paper. Like, it doesn't say any words. The picture of Roman. He does so much for us, and we're very lucky to have him.
Yeah, so sticking with Roman Berkey just for a second here, I believe he hit the 100-save plateau, first goalkeeper this year in MLS to do so. What does his training look like, though? Because I feel like at this point I'd almost want to put him in bubble wrap so that he doesn't hurt himself at all or tweak anything or just, expend too much energy as he's getting ready for these games.
Yeah, because he's been doing it for so long, you see guys have different routines, and he's very routine-driven in terms of what he does in the weight room is consistent every week, and then what he's doing on the field. The goalies will kind of do their own thing, at the beginning of the session, so they'll get, because they'll want to get a lot of touches. He'll want to get a lot of touches with his hands, with his feet, a lot of feel of the ball, because when you bring them into other drills, they can go 5 minutes without touching a ball. But then, I think he does a good job finding that balance of, he still wants to improve. He still wants to get better. So he's out there grinding. And, he does, to be honest, he doesn't have to be. He could really just kind of coast into each game, but he doesn't. But then I think he also finds those moments where, we'll be doing a crossing and finishing drill, and guys will be hitting balls as hard as they can from 7 yards out. The day before a game, he'll get hit in the face and he'll walk off. He'll be like, I'm not doing this anymore, because he knows he recognizes, he's got to show up on Saturday and get it done. And if he gets concussed on Friday, that's not a good spot to be in.
No, not at all. All right, Kyle, before we let you go, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about the big match this weekend. It's against LA. You guys are 7 points up on them in the Western Conference. So when you're looking at the match here against LA, what can you tell us about this upcoming battle?
Yeah, just I'm making sure I'm hearing the question right. We are traveling to LA Galaxy.
My bad. I'm talking about the wrong. Sorry. This LA Galaxy's way down in the standings. My bad. I looked at LA.
Anthony had a little too much cough syrup today, Kyle. Sorry about that.
Roman actually asked me to fill in during one of the drills. I was the one that got concussed, Kyle. that way he saved it for. Obviously, LA Galaxy, a little bit different story. They're way down in the standings. My apologies.
Can't underestimate him, though, Anthony.
Nonetheless, Kyle, what can you tell us about this match? My bad.
Yeah, no, I think the point is still the same. We found, the second half after Leagues Cup break, points and wins are so hard to come by. Lots of away games. We tied LA Galaxy earlier in the year. They've heated up since then, so they're a very good team. And I think this is another one of those matchups where it's very much, it'll be our way of doing things versus their way. They're not going to change. They're a team that likes the ball. They're a team that likes to connect a lot of passes. We're a team that wants to be aggressive and hungry against the ball, win it over, transition quick. And so I'm excited for it. Points will be huge if we can get some on the road here. So it's a big one.
No doubt. Kyle, thank you, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Thank you a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, take care. That's Kyle Hiebert of St. Louis City SC. I saw your look on that, your look of horror. And I'm like...
Because, okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest here, is I was looking at the schedule, and I looked over, and I saw L.A., too, and I thought to myself, oh, man, this is a heck of a game. Then wait a minute. I go, there's two L.A. teams. So then I clicked on the actual game, so it was L.A. Galaxy.
Right.
Like 2 minutes later, you come flying in off the top rope.
Once I saw the 7 by the Winds, I'm like, that's not the right LA team.
That's not it.
That's my bad. Sorry about that. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Why don't we do our NFL division preview, NFC North, next in the Fastlane?
Jamie Rivers back with you here, joined by Tracy Bibb from the Bibb Agency. Tracy, how we doing today?
Awesome. How you guys doing?
Well, I'm doing good, but some people around here, some of these storms have done an absolute number on their roofs. What can we talk about today to help some of these people?
Yeah, they absolutely have. And one of the things that they'll see is if they've had to place a claim on their insurance, they're probably going to see their rates go up from that. It is a great time to give me a call and talk to me, because if you got a new roof from one of these storms, we are going to have a great rate for you. If it happens to maybe be another claim, we don't rate against those claims like other insurance companies do, and some insurance companies are canceling people for having those claims. So great time to talk to me about your home insurance.
Woof. Yes, please give Tracy Bibb a call, the Bibb Agency. They're going to take care of you the right way. I know this because they take care of everything for myself and my family. And it's easy. For a free non-committal quote, just give Tracy a call at 314-328-4260. Again, that number is 314-328-4260. Tracy, thank you again for everything that you do.
Thanks so much. Go Blues.
Time to go around the NFL with the Fastlane season preview of the NFC North.
Okay, so we chatted with Sean Baligian earlier in the hour about Jamie's Detroit Lions, and he didn't pour any cold water.
No, he didn't.
On the Lions hype.
Not at all. In fact, he kind of warmed me up a little bit.
And you could say, like, okay, well, of course he's going to do that because he's a Detroit guy. Sean is I worked with him a long time ago. Sean is very realistic. He knows that the dagger is going to go into the Lions fans' heart at any point. So he's realistic about it. And I thought he was realistic, too, about the run defense. You know, you got to kind of wait and see how this how it goes. But when it comes to the NFC North, do you guys, Jamie and Marsh, do you guys have them winning the division?
The Lions?
Yeah.
I do. I don't think Marshy does because he's all schooled out there in Minnesota land, but
I don't know, he surprised us yesterday with some of his Dallas Cowboy crap.
Based on what Sean provided us for information, as well as what I've been listening and reading and all that stuff around nationally and even up in the Detroit area, look, it's not going to be a cakewalk by any means. I think that this division, I think it's actually going to be competitive, as crazy as that sounds, but I do feel like the Lions win it this year.
Marsh?
There's so much hype around this team. I also have them winning the division.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm going to put aside my fandom a little bit. The Vikings defense, not that great. We saw that last year.
Not great.
Can Kirk Cousins have those fourth quarter comebacks, and can they win by one scores the same rate that they did last year? I don't know. Maybe they can. This offense for the Vikings is, it's going to be a good offense. Don't get me wrong. But I will give Detroit the number 4 seed in the AFC or the NFC North division champion as well. So they will be my 4 seed in the NFC.
Okay, so you got the Lions.
I have the Lions winning the division
and being the 4 seed. All right, I got the. I've been hyping this team up as a sleeper, so I'm gonna stick by them.
Oh, God.
I got the Packers.
What a joke.
I got the Packers.
Nobody has the Packers, Anthony. What do you think?
I do.
No, but honestly, what do you think you know that nobody else knows?
Nothing. I don't click.
You're just like anti Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, and they're just he's gonna be the greatest thing that the Packers have ever seen.
Who's got? Okay, so let me just
don't get angry
be fair
and pissy with me. Just answer the question.
Who's got the best defense in that division?
I don't know who has the best D.
The Packers have the best D.
How do you know that?
I've seen it.
You have?
It's glorious.
Okay.
Yep. Packers defense. First of all, the Vikings don't play defense. The Lions don't play defense. Wow. And while everybody, Marsh knows, I'm not saying anything.
I mean, they play defense. They just don't do it all that well.
Yeah. The Vikings and Lions are going to score a lot of points this year. They're going to need to score a lot of points this year because their defense, unless the Lions, I mean, all the changes they made in the secondary in one offseason completely changed this,
it'll help.
This team.
I don't know if it'll make a 180, but it'll help.
The Bears, I think a lot of people love the Bears because of Justin Fields. Okay, I get that. He's an exciting player. I think we're losing sight of the fact that the Bears earned the number 1 overall pick this year. They traded it to Carolina, but that puppy was all theirs. Mm-hmm. So to go from being the number 1 overall pick to even a wild card team is quite a leap. I think we're overhyping. I think some people are overhyping the Bears. I think some people are overhyping Justin Fields. We haven't seen him win in a drop-back passing game yet.
Yeah,
I know he can run around.
Same thing about Jordan Love, Anthony.
Absolutely. You got me on Jordan Love. I can't. I have
That's
nothing.
That's the biggest question mark.
Jordan Love has been. I've watched some video on him, and his progressions when he looks at the receivers has actually not been that bad, at least in the preseason. Now, will that translate to the regular season? That has been, we don't know yet. So,
right.
But me personally, I think when we're talking throwing the ball downfield, if we want to compare it to Justin Fields, Jordan Love's better.
I agree with that. Look, I will concede the Jordan Love argument. I can't say anything beyond that.
That's such an important part of the process.
I realize that, but the Packers have the best O-line in the division. They have the best defense in the division. They might have the best head coach in the division.
Now that's where I'm going to stop you. Nobody's better than Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell is yet to make a playoff appearance yet. Of course, he didn't have Aaron Rodgers.
In a very small room against Matt LaFleur. Who wins?
Oh, Dan Campbell.
There you go. That's all you need to know.
I think the Packers are going to surprise people this year. I got them number 1 in that division. I got them winning the division. I got them surprising everybody. I got the Lions finishing second as a wild card team. I got the Vikings missing the playoffs at 3, and I got the Bears at 4.
Wow.
And I think the Vikings and Bears are going to be around the same win total when it's all said and done. The Vikings are going to score a lot of points. I just don't know if they're going to be able to defend. So that's my 1 through 4. Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears. And I realize that's going to be a very unpopular. I'm already seeing it. I'm looking at the faces. You guys are disgusted with me. That's fine. That's my opinion right there, 1 through 4. It's a very unpopular opinion, but I stand by it.
Just bad.
So what's your 1 through 4, Jamie, in this division?
In this division, I got the Lions. I can't lie. The Lions, the Vikings, the Packers, the Bears, in that order.
Okay. Marsh?
I have the Lions. The Vikings will be my 7th seed in the NFC. I have Detroit facing off against the Eagles. And I'm sorry, Detroit fans, you will not be winning that game. even if it is at home. So I have the Vikings. They will come in second.
I wouldn't. Oh, well, you got the Cowboys.
I have the Cowboys winning.
That's right.
That division. So the Eagles will be my 5 seed this season. They'll probably have a better record than some division winners, to be honest. But Detroit 1, Vikings number 2, Green Bay 3, Chicago 4.
Okay. There you have it. Who has a better seat? Jamie, whose take is crazier? Marsh's take on the Cowboys or mine on the Packers?
Yours on the Packers.
Crazier than the Cowboys winning the conference.
Oh, I forgot. You had him winning the conference?
He had him winning the conference. He had him going to the
regular to the Super Bowl?
No,
regular. Sorry,
they're absolutely going to lose that
number
first game.
one. You're right. They didn't. You don't have them winning the conference.
No, we don't give out regular season titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Marshy's is crazier just because even though the Cowboys could win their division, I don't see them having the best record in the NFC.
Who has a better record than them then?
Detroit Lions.
No, they won't.
Eagles.
Well,
no, not if the Cowboys win their division. If the Cowboys win their division.
I thought you were asking me who do I think?
No,
or
I'm
who do we
saying
think?
if the Cowboys win their division, what other team would have a better record than them? The 49ers?
Yeah, but they don't have
49ers
just
might.
because it doesn't just because they win their division doesn't mean look at last year the Buccaneers won their division at 8-9.
Well, what Marsh is saying
That's
is
the best division in the NFC, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's saying that whoever wins that division is probably going to be the number 1 seed in the conference.
Well, he's wrong. It's okay.
Hey, you know what? We'll find out here in about 17 weeks or 18 weeks.
All right,
just hold your breath.
We got the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN. All right, if you need a ride, Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, that's got to be your spot. They've got over 700 vehicles in one location. That's one of the reasons why I love going to Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum when we need a vehicle, because I know I don't have to drive all around the greater St. Louis area or the greater Illinois area and look for my next new car. Now, when it comes to Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, they've got 700 vehicles on the lot, both new Nissans and certified pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're looking at cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, they've got them, all makes, all models, and they've got the best pricing. I just followed Jamie's lead from earlier. They've got the best pricing when it comes to their vehicles. They've got the 30-day return promise. They're so confident that you're going to drive off their lot in your brand new Nissan, and you're going to absolutely love it, that they give you the 30-day return promise. So if you do need to bring it back for any reason, no problem. They give you the refund on that. And they also have the free nationwide lifetime warranty. Go check them out in Herculaneum. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum.
always one challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Chris, and his son Evan is going to help Chris today. What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, guys.
Doing all right. Welcome into the Fast Lane. Would you guys like to take on Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, or me today?
I'm going to let Evan pick.
What do you think, Evan?
Marsh.
Marsh?
Yep.
All right. Andrew Marsh is up.
Marshy.
He is up today. Go ahead, guys. Tell him to spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel.
There you go. Marsh just spun the wheel, and he's going to exit into the cone of silence. What category are you guys hoping for today?
Baseball would be the best.
Okay. Well, good news. It is baseball.
It is.
Did we get the launch codes?
No, I'll find them here.
Okay. Jamie's got to get the launch codes. Yes, the wheel did spin baseball today. 4 questions, all baseball to you guys, Chris and Evan. Same 4 questions, all baseball to our guy, Andrew Marsh. Each question is worth 2 points unless either of you guys need the options. If you do, those questions are only worth 1 point. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Question number 1. Jamie, you good?
Yeah, we're good to go, bud.
All right. Which team is the only AL team to have 3 players with 25 or more home runs this season? So which American League team has 3 players that have hit 25 or more home runs this season?
Oh. What do you think?
I don't know.
I'm thinking Astros. Astros would be one.
Yeah.
For the Astros. Astros, final answer.
All right.
All right, guys. Question number 2. Which Dodger had a .455 average with 11 home runs and more than 50 hits in the month of August, becoming just a 3rd player since 1900 to put up such numbers in a single month?
What? Mookie Betts.
Is that your final answer?
Yep, final answer.
Yep.
All right, guys. Question number 3. Who won the American League Player of the Month in August? Who just won the AL Player of the Month in August?
We're going to take the options.
Was it Gunnar Henderson of the Baltimore Orioles, Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners, or Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros?
Altuve's been... I don't know. Who do you think? Rodriguez? Rodriguez, Altuve? You pick.
Julio Rodriguez.
Final answer?
Correct.
Yes.
All right, guys. Final question. Which current Cardinals starting pitcher has the lowest ERA on the team this season?
No, he's not. He's injured. Boy.
So let me re-ask this question.
Yeah.
Just so I don't want anybody getting fired again around here. Which current Cardinals starting pitcher, injured or healthy, has the lowest ERA on the team this season?
Couple of years. I don't know if right or not. We'll take the options.
All right. Is it Steven Matz, Zach Thompson, or Miles Michaelis? Final answer?
Final
Yep.
answer.
All righty.
Steven Matz. Okay, well, welcome back, Marsh. How you guys feeling?
I mean, all right.
Okay, all right. Chris and Evan.
I love it.
Are on the line right now. Marsh is making his way back from the Cone of Silence. I can't remember the last time Marsh played in the Gauntlet.
It's been a while.
I think it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Maybe a save opportunity for Marsh at one point.
It's been a while.
Since doing a little stain there, Marsh. All right. Marsh, today your category is baseball.
All right, let's do it.
Jamie, tell him.
You better pack at lunch because Team Avon brought it.
Wow.
Question number 1, Marsh. Which team is the only American League team to have 3 players with 25 or more home runs this season?
25 or more home runs.
That's correct.
Oh, boy. Rangers come to mind. Astros come to mind, but I think they've been banged up a little bit. Yikes. The Rays also have a lot of home runs. Let's go ahead and use the options to narrow some of these down.
Orioles, Astros, Mariners.
All right, good thing I took the options. Orioles, Astros, Mariners. I mean, I'm thinking the Astros. You got Yordan Alvarez, Bregman. You got Kyle Tucker. You have Altuve. I know he was injured, but let's go Astros. Final answer.
All right, Marshy, question number 2. Which Dodger had a 455 average with 11 home runs and more than 50 hits in the month of August, becoming just the 3rd player since 1900 to put up such numbers in a single month?
Well, I think this player propelled himself into the MVP conversation. I would believe it to be Mookie Betts. I don't know who else it could be. Maybe Jason Hayward. I'm going to stick with Mookie Betts, though. Final answer.
Don't be slandering Jason Hayward like that. He had a decent year.
Unneeded ricochet.
Unbelievable.
Who said I was slandering him?
Question number 3.
Could be an option for all I know.
Come on.
Who won American League Player of the Month in August? Who won the AL Player of the Month in the month of August?
AL Player of the Month in August. The Mariners were on an absolute heater. I have to think it's someone on that team, which leads me to believe that I'm wrong on question number 1. I have no idea. Let's use the options.
Gunnar Henderson of the Baltimore Orioles, Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners, and Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros.
Oh boy, I'm gonna go with Julio, just because of Anthony. Stick with your gut. So I'm gonna go J-Rod. Final answer.
All right, Marshy, final question. Which current Cardinals starting pitcher, injured or healthy, has the lowest ERA on the team this season?
Trying to think if there was a pitcher that pitched one game for whatever reason and then did not pitch again. But Dakota Hudson comes to mind. I guess Zach Thompson. Lowest ERA. Is it a current player? Does it say that? Can you reread the question?
I will.
Okay, thank you.
Please listen. Which current Cardinals starting pitcher, injured or healthy, has the lowest ERA on the team this season?
I feel like I need to take the options. Let's go with the options.
Is it Steven Matz, Zach Thompson, or Miles Michaelis?
Wow. you know what? Two of those guys are healthy, right? One of those guys is not, which leads me to believe that is why the injury aspect of this question came to be. So I'm going to go with Steven Matt's final answer.
Okay, let's go over these. We'll start there. Which current Cardinals starting pitcher has the lowest ERA on the team this season? Chris and Evan, you guys went with Steven Matz. Andrew Marsh, you went with Steven Matz. Correct answer is
Steven Matz.
What? Oh! Both of you guys needed the options. So we got a 1-1 tie. Who won American League Player of the Month in August? Marsh, you went with J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. Chris and Evan, you guys went with Julio Rodriguez. Correct answer is?
Oh, it was good old J-Rod.
But both of you guys needed the options again.
That scares me every time.
2-2 tie between Chris and Evan and Marsh. Which Dodger had a .455 average with 11 home runs and more than 50 hits in the month of August, becoming just the third player since 1900 to put up such numbers in a single month? Marsh, you went with Mookie Betts. Chris and Evan, you guys also went with Mookie Betts. Correct answer is?
Mookie Betts.
You almost got me.
But both of you guys did not need the options.
Oh, what a barn burner.
You guys have the same exact answers for those questions. It's a 3-3 tie. Comes down to this.
I think it's 4-4, but
it's 4-4.
4-4, excuse me, 4-4.
That's
I can't count. Yep. Yeah, it's my math.
3,000 to 3,000.
3,000, exactly, yeah. Which team is the only AL team to have 3 players with 25 or more home runs this season? Marsh, you went with the Houston Astros. Chris and Evan, you guys went with the Houston Astros.
Stop it. I used the options.
But I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh.
Marsh, you used the options.
Did, yeah.
Chris and Evan did not. If it's the Houston Astros, Chris and Evan advance. If it's the Orioles or the Mariners, we've got a walk-off.
I hope it's the Mariners.
Correct answer is?
Marshy, using the options didn't hurt you. It's the Seattle Mariners.
We got a walk-off.
Wow.
Walk it off.
You guys had the same exact answers for every single question. We got a 4-4 tie. All right, Chris, Evan, you guys are going to hold off. You guys don't say anything. Marsh is going to write down his answer. Then we're going to tell you, hey, Marsh has got his answer. We're going to need your answer. It's closest to the pin wins. Marsh, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here's your tie-breaking question. How many RBI did both Mookie Betts and Julio Rodriguez have in the month of August? How many RBI did Mookie Betts and Julio Rodriguez have in the month of August? Marsh is writing down his answer.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Marker doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Marsh, we have Marsh's answer. Chris, Evan, what is your answer?
I think I'm going to go with 32.
Okay.
No need for the calculator.
No need for the calculator today. How many RBI did both Mookie Betts and Julio Rodriguez have in the month of August? Chris and Evan, we just heard your answer, which was 32. Marsh, why don't you go ahead and tell the people what you wrote down? What number did you write down?
I wrote down 69. You know, give or take 20 RBIs, you know, in the month, you know, each.
Mailed it in.
Add some more.
Just mailed it in, this guy.
There.
Yeah, Chris laughed.
Yeah, only Chris.
What's so
Only
funny?
Chris.
Thank goodness.
Correct answer is
30 RBI.
Wow. Chris and Evan.
You have chosen wisely.
Congratulations. You guys were much, much closer to the pin on this one.
They cared a lot more than
They certainly cared. They put in a lot more effort. Yep. So congratulations, guys. You guys are going to take on either Jamie or myself tomorrow.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Have a good one,
Nice
guys.
job,
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Really, Marshy?
Really? Yeah, man.
Each player's getting 15? They're player of the month. I'm thinking maybe they're averaging an RBI, a little bit extra change.
Both of them got 30.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it wasn't a total number of RBI. Which number did they both have? They both had 30 RBI.
Oh, I thought it was a combination of both.
No, did both. How many RBI did both Mookie Betts and Julio Rodriguez have in the month of August?
Yeah, is that not combining them?
No. It's how many RBI did they have? Period.
Yeah,
so they tied. Mookie Betts and J-Rod both had 30.
Okay, I didn't know that. So
I know, but I'm just disgusted.
am I not wrong? Like the question's worded weirdly.
Well, I actually would have taken it the way Marsh did. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
literally. Mail it in himself.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
I don't want to look like an idiot here.
69, 3,000.
I would have been 9
69.
off. I would have been 9 off. That's where my head was at. We're combining
where your
both of
head
them.
was at.
You better be real close on your tiebreakers moving forward.
I won
okay?
the last one.
You know what I tried to do? Anthony did the same thing. I tried to reverse the curse. I was like, maybe we won't be laughing at the end of the day. Maybe
you'll be closer. Maybe I'll be vindicated.
That's the word. I couldn't remember what the word was.
We have a lot of people that are not happy with a couple of the questions today. Just so you know, question number 4.
Yeah.
This is the way it was actually worded.
Okay.
Which current Cardinals starting pitcher has the lowest ERA on the team this season? So I didn't have injured or healthy, and the reason we pivoted is because Evan had said Steven Matz, and his dad goes, "No, he's injured."
See, I picked up on that. I wouldn't have guessed Steven Matz
because he's on the roster, but he's not really. He's on the IL. So So
I mean, the bottom line is
I just didn't want Grant to not be able to pay his car payment again.
Yeah. Jamie, you saved Grant.
Yeah. And then Marshy flies in off the top rope with the "I don't care" answer.
I am sticking by the fact that I believe that question was worded in a way.
I believe the earth is flat. Okay?
All right, Kyrie. You know what? I'm done.
We got to get to BT.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
get to Brad Thompson.
For us.
Let's get the show back on the rails.
Ask him the question. See what he says.
Next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter back with you here. And we're joined by our good buddy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. And Stewie, there are people out there that, don't feel like they can purchase a home. They think, there's no way I can do this. But you've got news for them, don't you?
Jamie, I have a question for you. If a person doesn't play hockey and they come over to you and start telling you what they can or can't do in hockey, or if they know everything about hockey, how do you look at them?
I ask them if they're sure about what they're talking about.
And usually they're not. They don't know enough about hockey. They don't have experience. We closed an ESPN listener today, had no credit score, 0. And for a year and a half, almost 2 years, he said, I don't have credit. I don't have a score. I can't buy a house. Wrong. We put him on an FHA loan, 3.5% down payment. He closed his first house. He couldn't believe it. Great rate. Got the bagel loan with no closing costs. He was in and out. Don't self-diagnose. Don't start saying I have not enough good credit. I don't have enough income. Let the experts look at your situation and see if you're qualified to buy the house.
There you go. It's just great advice. I mean, how many times I'm going to look online. They'll know. No, just go to the experts. Stewie, in this case, is our expert. We use him. You should use him as well, especially like he just said. If you're unsure whether or not you can purchase a house right now, get a loan, just pick up the phone. Call Stewie. It's his personal cell phone number. He hands it out for a reason. He wants you to call. He wants to help everybody out. It's 314-324-4440.
Again, that's 314-324-4440.
Or, Jamie, you can Google
the bagel loan.
Thanks, Stewie.
Have a good one, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
It's a fast lane here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers here, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh, and our guy BT joins us today. BT, how we doing, bud?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm sitting here looking out on Truist Field. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in Atlanta. And I got to tell you, though, I had a question for you. I already see it trending on Twitter. What happened in the Gauntlet? Because it seems like people are all up in arms about some wording of a question. What happened?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Anthony, do you still have the question?
I certainly do.
There?
Yeah.
We'll ask you this question. We'll see how you interpret the way it's being asked.
Do you want the tiebreaker or the Cardinals one?
The tiebreaker one.
How many RBI did both Mookie Betts and Julio Rodriguez have in the month of August?
All right, so you're looking for a combined number. I'm going to say they both had, let's go with 52.
Okay, so therein lies the controversy. Yeah,
Thank you.
Marsh, and I admitted this too when Marsh did it. I would have combined the two too based on how the question was. Jamie said...
I looked at it differently. I thought they both tied, so they both had this number of RBI. So that obviously the number would be lower, like singular.
I can see it.
Yeah, so that is where the controversy lies, BT. So me, you, and Marsh had it the same way of like, okay, they combined for these numbers, but Jamie actually, because the answer was 30.
Yeah.
So they both had 30 RBI, which, I mean, I don't know. You could interpret it both ways.
I'm just glad the contestant won today because can you imagine if oh my goodness.
No. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of controversy, BT. So
It happens. Well, look, it happens. A listener is happy, so life is good.
Yeah, exactly, BT. And I think the Jordan Walker family must be happy, too, after what a performance it was last night. So his mom's there, his dad's there, grandma's there, all watch as this 21-year-old kid steps in and has himself quite a night. Did you get goosebumps watching Walker do his thing last night, BT?
Yeah, man, it really is cool. And to have it, like, in his third at-bat, like, while his family's getting interviewed and you hear all the emotions, he gets a hit, his dad's calling it, that's a hit! Like, his dad was doing play-by-play for the whole inning, which was cool. It's such a neat thing, right? You picture it. As a young kid, his dream was to play in this ballpark as a big leaguer. He'd come here as a kid. He'd come watch games. And a dream realized, and he's got a great family, a great support base, and fun to see them here yesterday. And then tomorrow, apparently he's going to have about 200 family and friends at the ballpark. I don't have 200 family and friends in general. I could not find 200 tickets to give out.
That's not
true. They're all going to be in right field. I think it's true, Anthony. I really think that it's a true thing. And that's okay. Like, sometimes keep your circle tight, that's okay. But that's what I like to call I call it a small circle instead of a loner. But that's going to be neat too, seeing that. So it's fun to watch him grow throughout the season. We all know the awesome spring he had. He ends up making the ball club. He gets sent down. They want him to work on some things. Look, the biggest thing for him, in my opinion, has been big league reps and has been confidence. And he's got that right now. And he's laying off pitches. His pitch recognition is good. I don't think that his swing itself has really changed that much. I think that we're still seeing him being a guy that will end up hitting the ball hard on the ground. But he is getting to some pitches up in the zone, obviously elevating with 3 home runs. In the last 3 games. He's hit a home run in 4 out of the last 5. You're starting to see that really click for him and turn the corner. But I really do think that the biggest thing for him is he believes. Like, he's got that confidence, and you can see it in the box. And confidence is a heck of a thing. I don't care what you're doing.
Yeah, BT, I agree. And, watching that game last night, watching Jordan Walker perform the way he did, and then also watching a guy like Nolan Gorman do what he was able to do last night, there's been a little bit of a hot topic here today in Cardinal Nation, and that topic has been, if you're John Mozeliak and the Cardinals, would you pull the Atlanta Braves card out and try to lock up these 2 youngsters to long-term deals?
Well, it's obviously something that you should think about for sure. I don't think it's anything that you have to be in a rush to do, since you do have as much time. Maybe you want to see a little bit longer. But depending on what the number looks like, I'd be inclined to think about it. Obviously, they did that, to your point. They did it with Acuna at a pretty good number. Ozzie Albies' contract is crazy team-friendly, and I know that Ozzie talked about it after the fact. He and his family will never have to want for anything again, and it was a thing that made him comfortable. So, yeah, I think those are conversations you probably might try to have or float out in the offseason potentially. I also think that it's going to be interesting to see how the Cardinals acquire pitching. Now, we all know via free agency they're going to have an opportunity. They're going to need to go out and buy a guy, if not 2 guys. But it's also going to be interesting to see if you do want to float a trade for a big guy, you're going to have to trade away something that hurts. Now, I don't think that there's any inclination that this team would trade away Jordan Walker. But maybe if the price is right, is Gorman a guy that might end up being available? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it looks like. But to your point about watching him in the ball game yesterday, he goes opposite field, Jamie, which is great to see. And it's something we saw early in the season, him with that ability. Since coming back off the IL, he's really struggled with his timing, and he's starting to chase pitches that he was chasing last year. And I know that he's been working really hard behind the scenes of trying to shorten some things up in his swing, trying to get his timing right. And I think that we saw it last night. And the ball game last night, it's pretty indicative of the kind of player that he is. And you will take that player all day, every day, the guy that can hit 2 home runs for you and punch out 3 times. Like that, he has swing and miss. He's got big-time pop. He's a 3 true outcome player, and you've got plenty of room in this lineup for a guy like that.
Our guy Brad Thompson is not only talented enough to be on the air with us right now, but he's also playing the in-stadium organ.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
He's doing it. So he's
Tickling the
entertaining.
ivories.
Yeah, he's entertaining the home crowd in Atlanta and also talking to us. So Brad, well done. Nolan Gorman, Brad, what is the biggest difference in his game from a year ago last year, like right now, to where he is now?
Well, the biggest thing is pitch recognition, and he changed his swing. Like, he changed his timing. He doesn't have as much of the uppercut swing. It allows him to get to the fastball at the top of the zone. But I think that when we're seeing Nolan Gorman, when he is on his game offensively, what he's doing, he's not crushing the fastball at the top of the zone. And this is going to be a really interesting case for him against Spencer Strider, who throws that 99, 100-mile-an-hour cheese at the top. But what we've seen him do is be able to foul that pitch off and give himself another chance. And that's the big thing, because even a guy as good as Spencer Strider, he'll make a mistake. And if you can foul off some of the tough ones and get to a point where they have to throw more pitches to you, then you're going to find something that you can hit. I think that is one of the biggest adjustments we've seen him make. Instead of the guy last year where if you executed up and in and then you went down and away, you were going to be able to get him. He was very, very pitchable. But to his credit, he went into the offseason, knew he had to make some mechanical adjustments, knew he had to make some mental adjustments of how guys were pitching him and how he was going to combat it. And he did that, and we're still seeing it pay off right now. And that doesn't mean you're not going to go through tough times. He was going through a tough time, and he's still working through some things. He put the 2-home-run night last night, but you know the wheels are turning. And for a young player to be able to make those adjustments so quick at this level, I think it is really, really special and a really good sign for him. And by the way, Anthony, I do appreciate you noticing my keyboard skills, because I've been working, I've been taking lessons, and I can talk even while I'm playing the organ here at Truist Park.
Well, that was going to be my thing. The biggest difference between BT a year ago at this time compared to where BT is right now is the fact that you can tickle those ivories as well as you do.
No, I do, and I take pride in it. It's something I didn't want to bring up, but I kept playing it louder and louder until you brought it up.
Somebody, the 636 asked if you're on a merry-go-round, which, I mean, you could be on a merry-go-round, too. Yeah.
Oh, it felt like one in the 8th inning last night. Like,
boy.
Put another quarter in.
Oh, boy.
You know how many seat cushions I have sucked up over the last season? Like this, oh man, the cheeks get tight late in the ball game. By the way, so that'll be something tonight as you're watching the game. If the Cardinals are fortunate enough, if Dakota Hudson goes out there and has himself a game like he did last time against the Pirates, goes deep, gives you a chance to win. If the Cardinals are winning late, flip a coin to see who it is, because Helsley's not going to be available. He's not going to be pitching back-to-back for the rest of the year. I think that Gallegos is going to be down. He's been worked heavily here. We all know, JoJo's on the IL. Like, you could see a scenario, like it might be Casey Lawrence in the 9th inning. Like, I'm not exactly sure which direction Ollie is going to go right now, but he's going to need somebody to step up late in the ball game, because, your big guys, and Gio, for all his struggles recently, he's still been one of the guys that they rely on. Somebody's going to have to step up in a tight game.
Brad, did you get your picks in for the Fastlane Riz Show Pick'em Challenge? Okay, you feel good? You feel comfortable for week one?
No, I got to be honest with you. I'll tell you this: not being with you guys every day and not doing the show, I got to tell you, I'm not digging into anything that isn't baseball at this point. I had to look around and see who the quarterback on some of these teams were. I actually did last night, and I'll just tell you guys this. I don't want to tell anybody else. It just seems unprofessional. I did a fantasy draft in the first inning last night. I had one with my boys in Vegas, and I'm looking up some of the guys. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? It's like the 20th pick. I'm like, I should have better knowledge of depth. So you guys are going to be getting plenty of phone calls during early football season, but we're getting close to digging into football time because I got money to make.
Yeah, darn right there, BT. Well done there. And you can get signed up to play this year's Fastlane Pick'em Challenge at 101ESPN.com, just like we all did. Make your football picks each week so you can see if you can defeat us as well as the Rizzuto Show. We're going to square off against the Riz Show again. In fact, I got the notification. I'm going on the Rizzuto Show tomorrow morning.
Oh boy!
Talk a little punishment. So
yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
What are you going to agree to? Yeah, you do this every year, Anthony. You agree to something without talking to the group.
Yeah, he does.
I just think that's right now. It's just kind of it's just part of the fun, BT. So don't worry. I'll agree to something that's we're gonna win anyways. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, guys, we're getting tattoos. Like it's unbelievable.
Yeah, on our faces.
Oh, neck tattoos.
Yeah, so that'd be fine for TV for both of you guys,
That'd
right?
be great.
It's it's classy. It's 2023. You can pretty much get away with anything.
You know what? I'll talk to Bally's for you guys. You guys will be fine.
Please
I'll talk
represent
to
us, Anthony.
your bosses. Hey, get signed up to play now at 101ESPN.com, courtesy of Bud Light. BT, great work on the Oregon. Great work on Bally Sports Midwest. Bring home another winner tonight. I'm sure the Cardinals will get it done against Spencer Strider.
Guys, it's going to be a fun one tonight. Going to be a challenge for sure. And, I'm going to go keep playing with my Oregon. I'll see you, boys.
Attaboy. Well said. That's our guy, Brad Thompson, here on 101 ESPN. Just good stuff. Good, clean fun from BT, as always. Yep. All right, we're going to do a very quick AFC North preview next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, we're just about to talk about the NFL coming up here, and I think you're as excited as I am for the season to get going tomorrow night. And I'm also really excited to be using FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. I'm excited for new customers as well, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, and that's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I'm excited for? All customers, Anthony, because all FanDuel customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV.
Shut the front door, Jamie.
Boom.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yeah.
Courtesy of FanDuel.
You know it.
Come on. Visit FanDuel.com/fast. Unbelievable offer. Unbelievable app. All the odds, the spreads, the points, the totals, the Super Bowl futures. They've got same game parlays. They've got player prop odds. They've got it all at FanDuel. So just visit the app, download it, or go to FanDuel.com/fast. Kick off the NFL season with the offer that Jamie just mentioned. It's an offer you don't want to miss. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket. Not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel any time.
You might have heard Doug Voss and Safe Money Radio. His shows have been on several radio stations for many years. Now he can be heard every Sunday from 10 to 11 a.m. on 101 ESPN. He is super excited to get to the ESPN audience as he is a huge St. Louis sports fan. Doug is an expert at minimizing the impact of market volatility on his clients' assets. So catch Safe Money Radio every Sunday at 10 a.m. on 101 ESPN. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
You know where you are?
For you.
You're in the jungle, baby.
Guns N' Roses, live. North America 2023. Special guest, The Pretenders. This Saturday night, Busch Stadium. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Finally, back in North America. Don't miss Guns N' Roses. Catch the balloon party with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson. Weekdays on 101 ESPN from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for the fastest hour in sports radio.
Driven by Munganast Acura.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cards are back in action tonight, taking on the Atlanta Braves, looking for another win as Dakota Hudson takes him out, going up against Spencer Strider. First pitch is at 6:20. If you've missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or go to the 101 mobile app. You can find the full show there as well as all of our interviews. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our AFC North Division preview coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at Londoff.com and LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Time to go around the NFL with a Fastlane season preview of the AFC North.
All right, AFC North time. This division, I think, is going to be fascinating to watch all season long. Marsh, who do you have winning the AFC North?
Well, I was giving this team's quarterback a little bit of grief. I believe it might have been last week or the week before, saying that they would not be a Super Bowl contender or a AFC title contender. I will stick to that because I do believe this team will have a great regular season, and that is the Baltimore Ravens.
I have the Ravens winning it as well.
They are my number one seed in the AFC.
Wow. Marsh shaking it up here with the conference leaders. I like the Ravens as well. I think Lamar Jackson has himself, if he could stay healthy, I think Lamar Jackson's in the MVP conversation by the end of the year. Strong defensively, good O-line, good weapons, and Lamar finally has an offense coordinator that will allow him to throw the ball outside the numbers, which is big.
Yeah. That's assuming he can handle a bigger playbook. So we'll find out.
Why do you say that?
Just because we haven't seen it yet. So we'll find out. Maybe he is an MVP. Maybe he isn't. Anthony? Either way, I have the Bengals winning this. Joe Burrow about to become apparently the highest paid player ever in the NFL. I don't know how that's possible when you got Deshaun Watson's contract sitting out there. And the Bengals. Joe Burrow, there's no reason to think that the Bengals cannot win this division. I do feel like the Ravens are going to have a hell of a year, and I think they're going to push the Bengals right to the end. But I think the Bengals, for me, win this division.
I got the Steelers in second with a wild card berth.
Wow. What is wrong with you today?
This guy hates defenses. He loves to hate defense.
What are you talking about, David?
Loves to hate the D.
The Steelers have...
I feel like he loves the D.
Steelers have the top defense in that division.
He loves it. Can't get enough of it.
I'm thinking the Cincinnati Bengals. The reason why you don't necessarily like them is because of their D.
Correct. Lack thereof.
There we go. The lack thereof.
They lost both starting safeties in the offseason. I think their front seven is very good, but I have questions about the secondary for Cincinnati. And I think the Steelers, they can get after the pass. I love their secondary. They're going to force a ton of turnovers. I'm not the biggest Kenny Pickett fan, but Kenny Pickett had his moments last year. I think the Steelers finish second and get a wild card berth. I've got the Bengals third in this division. I got the Browns fourth. And I actually think the Bengals and Browns are still going to have pretty good seasons. I just don't have them playoff teams. It's a stacked division. It's a stacked conference.
I don't know where your head's at today. I don't. Like, honestly, like I'm fine with you picking the Ravens to win this division because I think they're going to be there. But your takes on like Green Bay and now with Pittsburgh and the Bengals not making the playoffs, like it's just not what I expected.
Well, I'm sorry that I did not live up to your expectations, Jamie. But I got to be me.
It hasn't happened very often, but
I got to be me.
It's happened today.
And if you want to go against Mike Tomlin, who has never had a losing season, that's your right,
I'm not
Jamie.
worried about Mike Tomlin.
Go for it.
Worried about Kenny Pickett. Like, I'll go against Kenny Pickett.
This man
tomorrow.
won with somebody named Duck Hodges.
What did you say?
Mike Tomlin won with somebody named Duck Hodges.
Oh.
Who I don't even think is in the league anymore.
What did he win?
8 games. With a combination of Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges. And you're going to go against that guy?
Yeah.
Go
that
for it,
guy.
man. Steelers, second in this
They'll be
division.
third in this division, but they're not going to be second.
Bengals, second in this division for me. They are the 5 seed in the AFC for me.
Jamie,
the Steelers, third place, will miss the playoffs. They'll be right around with the Dolphins and the Jets. The Jets will edge them out for that 7 seed. However,
now you're talking.
I do like the Steelers defense, but we don't really know what Kenny Pickett is. I'm hearing some good things. Najee Harris can't run the ball more than 20 yards at a time. What is this offense going to look like? He might not even be the starting running back at the end of the year. You know? That's why I drafted Jalen Warren on my team.
Walked out. Tough day.
Yeah, insider, Pittsburgh Steeler insider Jamie Rivers said in the office today that he walked off the field.
Yeah, he walked off the field when he found out that Kenny Pickett is the only offensive captain. Meanwhile, last year they had 3 captains. Najee Harris, Mitchie Football, and Kenny Pickett. Well, obviously Mitchie Football, they didn't, anoint him as a captain, but they just left Najee Harris. He was pissed off.
I mean, maybe the practice was over and he walked off, but he walked off the field.
He still at one point walked off that field.
For sure.
Jamie was with us in Creve Coeur. He's got no idea what's going on with the Steelers.
Anthony.
Practice
people
habits.
are plugged in.
Thank you, Andrew.
And you know what, Jamie? You've been talking about the Bengals' offensive line being terrible and getting Joe Burrow killed.
Yeah, look, he made it to a Super Bowl getting murdered.
You're looking at me sideways on this.
The guy made it to a Super Bowl getting murdered.
You're tracking all this, right?
I am tracking it, yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, I sure hope you are.
We're going to revisit a lot of these throughout the course of the year because there's a lot of dissension.
We got the
in this
Pittsburgh
room
White
right now.
Sox right here. We got the Green Bay White Sox.
Okay, you know what? You're right. The Finches were a bad idea. All right.
You know what?
Terrible.
I think I picked the White Sox to win that division too. But
Sure you
my
did.
goodness, did I not have them in the World Series?
I had the Mets.
They could have been in the World Series. And I know they were trying.
Were they?
They weren't,
The
apparently.
guy's sleeping in the bullpen.
I didn't know that.
What the hell's going on?
I
Maybe he
didn't
was
know that when I
meditating.
picked the White Sox on opening day. All right.
I mean, we all had the Cardinals winning this division, and
Well, yeah. Bad division. Woof.
Yeah.
Guys, quick question for you.
Sure.
All of us unanimously had the Cleveland Browns last place in this division.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? I wasn't 100% convinced of that. I'll be completely honest. I almost had Cincinnati last.
Now you're just trying to hurt me.
Why? You're not
I
a
can
Bengals
see the way
fan.
you do this. I see the way you fight.
You're not a Bengals
And
fan.
it's not a discussion. It's you just try to hurt the people around you.
who do you think the next Cincinnati Bengals team is
You're
going to be?
taking it that way.
The team that Anthony just
you're
completely
giving it to me
craps
that
on.
way.
I'm not giving it to you that way.
Yeah, you
you're just assuming
giving it
I'm
to me
giving.
angry.
Come on.
Tired of that.
All right, Marsh is telling us to wrap up. He wants to do the what's trending.
Let's break it off.
Yeah, he does. Let's talk what's trending next here on 101 ESPN.
on in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered with what's trending now.
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill and get a Lion's Choice sandwich coupon.
Welcome to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. What's so funny?
Just Anthony's NFL picks. Still laughing about that.
They are pretty funny. Anyways, guys, What's Trending is Guns N' Roses. They're coming here to say
What? Would you let the man do his job, please?
Guns N' Roses?
You guys want to work it out?
Guns N' Roses, you said.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Guns and what?
Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think I said?
Guns and hoses.
Oh, well, that's a great event.
It's
but
an amazing event. That's why I thought you
ticket.
said that.
Oh, listen, Jamie. Clean the crap out of your ears, huh, kid? 101 ESPN has your chance to score a pair of tickets right now to see Guns N' Roses with special guests, the Pretenders, this Saturday night at Busch Stadium.
Is that a weird match, by the way?
Yes, it totally is. Yes, I don't get that.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Great. Tickets for the show are now on sale, and you can get 4 select tickets for just $90. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/Guns N' Roses or text in 314-399-9646 for your chance to win free tickets to the show. You can also find a bonus chance to win tickets at 101ESPN.com or your 101 mobile app. Jamie, you got our trivia question for this one.
Yeah, earlier today we gave away Guns N' Roses tickets, and following that I asked the guys here what their favorite songs were, and then we did break it up and said, what's your favorite hype up song and what's your favorite ballad from Guns N' Roses? And Anthony Stalter dropped a song on us that we'd never heard of before as his favorite hype up song from Guns N' Roses. So the trivia question is, what is Anthony Stalter's favorite hype-up Guns N' Roses song?
I don't even know if I gave you the other one, a ballad.
You didn't even want to give another one.
No.
You're like, I love this one so much.
I was shocked that you had never heard of it.
I wasn't alone.
No, but
there were a lot of people that never heard of it. People in the music industry.
And there was a lot of people that did.
Axl Rose texted me and said, I don't even remember that song.
We went out in the hallway earlier. And it was split, and I was a little disgusted by the fact that some people didn't know this Guns N' Roses song, but nevertheless, Jamie, it's an absolute gem. All right, that's what's trending here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We've got
what? That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Huh. So we asked earlier, would you lock up Walker or Gorman right now if you're the Cardinals? Got your mic drops next on 101 ESPN. 5:03, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Earlier today, MLB.com Cardinals insider John Denton was on with BK and Ferrario, T-Bone filling in for Alex Ferrario alongside Brandon Kiley. And they asked John Denton whether or not the Cardinals should look at signing both Jordan Walker and or Nolan Gorman long-term. Getting ahead of it a little bit here. Here's what John Denton had to say.
Look at this Braves team. Alex Anthopoulos with the Braves is a baseball genius. All their key pieces are in place. It would make sense to do that. Now, can you get a hometown discount? Can you, a lot of times you give the kid the money, the security that he doesn't have right now in exchange for, maybe a smaller deal. I think it would be wise to do that with Jordan Walker. I think it would be wise to do that with Nolan Gorman. This team knows that they have big needs to fill this offseason. They've got to work on their pitching staff first, their starting staff, and their relievers. And then after that, that's when you maybe look at trying to lock up some of these pieces because, for the next 10, 12 years, I joked with Ali Marmol last night. You can almost write it in pencil. Nolan Gorman, Lars Nootbaar, and Jordan Walker are going to be the heart of your lineup going forward for the next 10 years.
So we asked for your mic drops on this very topic. And before Jamie and I dive into what we would do when it comes to either signing Jordan Walker and or Nolan Gorman, let's hear from James.
Hey, boys. I think it's kind of smart to go ahead and I would do it with Gorman and Walker, is buy out some of their arbitration years. Go ahead and extend them. I wouldn't go crazy, but, you're obviously going to pay them for what they've done and the potential of what they could do. And I would rather go ahead and pay them now. Yes, they're cost controlled, but if you pay them now, you're not going to have to break the bank. I would rather go ahead and take care of that now, knowing that they have security, you have security with them on your team. And that's one less thing they have to worry about. They go out and play, and, just carefree and not worried about a contract. We've seen with Tyler O'Neill what worrying about a contract or being in a contract year can do. You could also look at the equivalent of, Vladimir Tarasenko with the Blues and just making sure that there's a security there and not having to worry about it down the road. I think it's smart to lock up Gorman and Walker.
So it was James giving kind of the pro take on whether or not the Cardinals should sign Jordan Walker and or Gorman. Here's Nicholas, and he's got a differing viewpoint.
Hey guys, what I would do with Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman, I wouldn't lock him up just yet. Gorman, maybe I'd go into this offseason and say, hey, we want to sign you for a 5-6 year extension worth X amount of money. Jordan Walker, you need to wait at least one more year. Figure out what that kid's got in his second year up here at the big leagues. If the numbers are still as good as they are within this year, then yes, sign him up to a 7-8 year deal. But you need to let Walker do his thing for another year before you lock him up. Gorman, immediately lock him up. I've seen enough. I was on the camp of trading. Go get Sean Murphy, trade Nolan Gorman. Well, he kind of make me bought the shoe on that one, didn't he? See you guys.
All right, that was Nick?
Yes.
All right, Nick, thank you for Nicholas, thank you for the mic drop. I disagree a little bit on that one. I think if you're going to do one, you do both. And I understand his thought process on Gorman, but look at the way Jordan Walker's trending right now. Anthony, we were looking up some stuff in the office before the show, and last year Gorman had 14 home runs for the Cardinals in 313-ish plate appearances. Yeah. I think Jordan Walker now has 15 and like
348 or something.
Yeah, he's got more plate appearances, but the power is there. So what makes you think he's going to get worse? Quite honestly, I think it's going to go the other way. Mm. And because you look at Nolan Gorman this year, and what's he got, 25 bombs now, 24 bombs, something like that?
Yeah.
What makes you think Jordan Walker's not going to do the same thing? And then what? Because if you set the market with Nolan Gorman, let's say you extend him, give him a nice chunk of change, Jordan Walker looks at that and says, well, I'm 3 years younger than this guy, and I'm equaling his output. Yeah, that number doesn't work for me anymore. So I think if the Cardinals are going to do something like this, I think they commit. We want to talk about the Cardinals doing something for a change that's out of character. Mm-hmm. This is one of them. One is go spend on the open market. I still don't know if that's going to happen. And when I mean spend, I mean like get nasty. $30 million on a pitcher. And be like, yep, we're doing it. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're doing it. This would be another one. Go extend 2 young phenomenons. I mean that for real, because the power that Nolan Gorman has, and the fact that I know the back is a little bit of a question mark right now, but in the off season he'll have some work to do there and get taken care of. But these guys, where they project to be in the next 2 to 3 years, they're not even close to their prime right now. Like Jordan Walker just turned 21 at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this kid now, like multiple extended games streaks with hits. Like not just like, oh, it happened once. He's had multiple streaks throughout this season. So if I'm going to sign one, I sign them both.
You might be wondering, why would they entertain signing 2 young guys when they don't have to? The reason is Anthony Rizzo, Madison Bumgarner, and Matt Carpenter's first contract. Just to name a couple of guys. Those are the reasons why you would do it. Anthony Rizzo signed a deal with the Padres that was well below what his market would have been had he hit free agency, after arbitration. Winds up being a steal for the Cubs. Not as much of a steal as what the Giants had with Madison Bumgarner. He didn't make his money until after he got that first contract. It was with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and who eventually released him because he was terrible, that he got his big money. The Giants signed him early. Obviously he got millions of dollars, so it's all relative. But Madison Bumgarner went on to help the Giants win 3 World Series championships at a fraction of the cost of what he should have been paid because he signed early. Matt Carpenter, we all remember the second contract. The first one was an absolute steal. If you flip the two, we're like, okay, no big deal. But because Matt Carpenter signed that contract extension that second time, when really Mo didn't have to do it, that's the one we remember. He was on an absolute... The Cardinals got a fleecing of a deal based on his production. That's why you would sign these guys early, despite the fact that they haven't gone through arbitration. You beat the market. And you're paying them, to your point, Jamie, during their prime seasons. You don't wait, and then they hit the open market, and then it's going to cost you triple.
Or you won't be able to afford it.
Or you won't be able to afford it. That's why you would at least entertain this. I would do it. I don't think the Cardinals will because of what you said.
Because they just don't do it.
They're going to have to. No, they actually do it more so than you'd think. DeYoung got a deal like that. Wong got a deal like that. And so did, I guess this to a certain extent, Carlos Martinez. They have signed guys before during the arbitration process.
This to me would be benchmark settings.
Yes.
Signings. Like Paul DeYoung doesn't get the money that these guys get. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at this.
This is Michael Harris.
Yeah, exactly.
Money,
we're currently in the middle of a series against the Atlanta Braves that have, taken this model and ran with it. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at these 2 young stud players, and yes, there's always question marks. There always is. But I feel like this is the opportunity. These are the 2 guys you do it on. And now you have your young studs for the years to come. You got Nolan Arenado. They still get a good chunk of change on him as far as 4 years after this one, I think, is what he still has with the Cardinals. Somewhere in there. I think at 5 years, he had an opt-out with 5 years left in his deal. I think I'm talking.
He's either got 3 or 4 after this.
Whatever the case. You got some runway after. Paul Goldschmidt, I think the Cardinals will extend him a year. I think he'll get 2 more years here, next year in another season. Now's the time to do it. Now you know your cost is for the team. Here's our cost. Not like, well, we have to worry about next year because we got arbitration with Walker, we got arbitration with this guy, and then, we got to worry about them walking now because they got pissed off during the process, and now they just want to play out their time as Cardinals, and then they're going to bounce. Take all of that out of the equation and do something unique. Do something that the Braves did and just show confidence in the players, but at the same time, 4 years from now, those deals could be pennies on the dollar to where you're laughing, going, I cannot believe we have both of these players these great players for that low of a cost.
They won't do it, though, because you're saving money right now with those two players being in the arbit. I think they're pre-arb.
Flip it, though. Like, if you're John Mosey, like,
but you got to pay for pitchers.
We'll make it up on the back end.
I realize that, but you got to pay for pitchers.
Okay, well,
you need three starters. Look, Jamie, I would do it. The Cardinals aren't going to do it because they have young, cost-control players.
This is why nothing's changing.
But you have to change.
Spend the damn money.
You have to spend them on pitching.
I know. Spend it in both places. What's the problem?
I got no problem with it. It's not my money.
I understand.
I'll spend Bill DeWitt's money anytime he wants.
I know.
But I don't think they're going to do it.
But this is where I think they have to break the mold. They have to change the model right now and lock up some young, certain players. That's what I would look at, is these guys are like the future.
Hey.
This is the guys.
Hey.
And in fact, I'd even entertain a year from now taking this model and applying it to someone like Mason Wynn if he continues to trend in the right direction. Lock up your young studs and then go spend money.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of worrying about trading Gorman to get that one pitcher that you may have for a couple of years.
Jamie, there's two kinds of people in the world, okay? You ever take the kids to
a young bull and an old bull on top of the mountain, Anthony?
Not that one.
Okay.
You ever take the kids to like the frozen yogurt places?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, that's right, because you get the teeth.
No, I just don't take them there. I don't want them to be happy.
It's very honest.
Sometimes I even tease them. I'm like, you guys want to go to yogurt world?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. I go, no.
No, not going.
No, I don't do. I do take them. I'm joking.
Okay, so I got the different varieties, right? You go, you get the different, you take the kids, they get the different yogurt, frozen yogurt, and then you go over to the toppings, right? Some people load up the toppings. Maybe even the mix. They get a little mix going with the yogurt, okay? Then the toppings.
Mm-hmm.
Just an explosion of flavor in your mouth, okay?
I can visualize it right now.
Exactly. So that's one side of the world. Then there's the Cardinals. And they go to frozen yogurt. And they look at all of the different toppings and all of the different frozen yogurts. And they find the vanilla. They pour the vanilla. Not too much, though. Not too much.
Yeah, because you don't need to overdo it.
Oh, I'm overdoing it every time.
No, the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't want to overdo it. So they put a little bit in.
You just need a taste.
Just a little. Then they kind of swirl it around a little bit. And then they go over the toppings and they look. They always look. They look. They see they've got the Heath.
You might even ask for a sample.
Yeah, a little Heath crumbles. Right? Maybe some Oreo dustings. Maybe some gummy bears if
Anthony,
you really want to get frisky.
Sprinkles.
I do not like sprinkles, but nonetheless,
that's what
they're
they
there.
put on it. They put on the worst stuff.
No, Marsh.
They don't put on anything.
Marsh, they look, is what I'm saying.
They're not putting anything on it.
And then they go, you know what? This vanilla ice cream is just fine.
We'll get by with this vanilla ice
Exactly.
cream.
And then they go to the counter.
Old Carl Gunnarsson.
They go to the counter, and they put it on the little scale, okay? And the little scale reads out, and they go, okay, all right. I'm not thrilled about this price, but, I'm going to buy this vanilla frozen yogurt. Wow. That's the Cardinals. And you're telling me you're going to change the molds? I don't think so, man.
I didn't say they're going to. I said they need to.
Not put any hot fudge on that.
They
caramel swirls.
Fudge, caramel,
marshmallow,
cookie crumbles, whatever the hell they've got. Everything.
Nope.
In fact, give me a bigger dish. Yeah. I want more.
And then we're there as Cardinals fans. They're like, hey, what about the toppings? So they're like, well, we looked.
This person.
And they want you to say, they basically want you to be like, oh, well, they looked. Good for them. That's good. I feel good about this. They didn't do it, though. They just looked at the
people who are like, how do you not like that topping?
Right.
Like, I go to frozen yogurt places, and I don't know what to get because there's too many options that I love.
So you get all of them.
No, I don't. I have to pick one, but I usually try and pick the best one.
Usually I put mine up on the little scale. It's like, that'll be $22.95. Yeah.
And then you start scooping it out. And you go, no.
No. You can't put the toppings back.
No. Now what does it weigh? Yeah.
That's why you got.
I want to do that so bad one time.
$18.65. All right,
you got to eat it before you bring it up to the counter.
The guy. I wonder what they do. If you're sitting there, it's like $12.99 or whatever, and you're like, hang on.
What are they going to do right now? It's a poor high schooler back there.
Walking in,
someone's summer job.
They got their hands.
I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Just don't get me fired.
Exactly.
Are you a frozen yogurt type person or like a custard person? They're different, right?
Yeah, it's all good to me, quite frankly.
Yeah, it all does taste the same.
It's outstanding. All right. I hope that clarified everything for people.
Yeah, it was definitely different than the grocery store analogy that you use.
Boy, he uses that a lot, doesn't he?
Boy, no. Okay, guys.
What? I'm just saying.
Hey, uncle. I get it. You hated the Packers pick.
So bad.
You hated the Steelers pick.
So bad.
You don't like the grocery shopping one anymore. I get it, guys.
I was fine with the grocery shopping. Apparently, Andrew's been harboring.
I never said
anger
that.
Here, my God.
I'm just pointing something out.
Uncle, I get it. I've heard you. Okay. Holy smokes. We got our Sports Six Pack coming up, 314-399-9646. We'll do that next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
the question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. If you got a question for Jamie, Marsh, or myself, send it there. Hit it, Marsh.
Question number 1.
All right, we were just talking about Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman and whether or not we'd re-sign them long-term at this moment. From the 314, I agree with signing those guys long-term. What do you think is a good deal for both sides? What would look like for the two? What would that look like for the two? Value one over the other, question mark?
Well, Jordan Walker is what, younger? He's 21.
He's 21, yeah.
Gorman is what, 23, 24?
24, I believe, but I'll find out, Anthony, while you're making your argument.
So you're looking at what Julio Rodriguez got from the Mariners. He finalized a deal with the Mariners that was expected to guarantee him more than $200 million. That's the type of deal you're going to be looking at.
Gorman's 23.
Okay. So for Walker is probably going to get, if you were to do this, right around what Julio Rodriguez got. $200 million. The deal is expected to guarantee him more than $200 million with the possibility of earning him $450 million plus.
Over how many years?
Let's see here.
Because that, to me, makes a difference.
Yeah. What is his contract? Hang with me here.
It's got to be 10 years, right?
I believe so. It is 12.
12. Okay, so, all right. I mean,
$209 million over 12.
I don't think the contract would look like that. I think that J-Rod had more success earlier, so I don't think that would be your benchmark.
He did put up bigger numbers.
Yeah, he did.
A year ago. Now, he was 22, so, I mean, we're talking about similar age range.
But I think that the Cardinals could tell the agents, like, listen, they're two really good young players, but they're not J-Rod.
Yeah.
So let's get out of that range, maybe dial it back a notch here.
So Rodriguez a year ago had 28 home runs, 75 driven in, 25 stolen bases, slugged .509, OPS 853. He had a better season. He had a better rookie season.
So what did he have last year?
What are you looking for?
J-Rod, give me those numbers again, please.
28 home runs.
Yeah.
75 RBI. 25 stolen bases.
Yeah.
A slug of .509.
Okay.
An OPS of 853.
Okay, so here's Nolan Gorman from this year.
And I'm talking about Walker in comparison to Rodriguez, not Gorman.
And don't forget Walker's 30 RBIs in the month of August.
Yeah. No, that was J-Rod.
That was J-Rod.
Yeah, J-Rod.
Yeah.
What did I say, Walker?
You said Walker.
Well,
I'm talking about for Walker, Jamie, not Gorman.
So you're using J-Rod for Walker?
Yes.
Okay, well, this is interesting.
Because of the age.
Okay, but we're talking a year older for Gorman. 26 home runs this year. So I'm comparing it to last year because last year was like J-Rod's breakout year, correct?
Yes, his rookie year.
So let's last year was a rookie year for Gorman, but this is his first full year. 26 home runs, 73 RBI, slug of 475, OPS of 796. So slug and OPS off of J-Rod's pace, but 73 RBI, and the season's not done. This is in progress.
Mm-hmm.
So although I still don't think he falls in that category. It's kind of wild to think of what the numbers are that Gorman's putting up right now.
Yeah. I think the other comp would be Michael Harris, who got 8 years.
What I was thinking.
8 years, $72 million.
So that's more along the lines that I was thinking.
No, he was 22 when he signed the deal. So 21.
So it falls into, so for either player, whether you're 23 or 21, you got the 8-year deal. I mean, it's tomato, really.
Mm-hmm.
I would approach both of these players with the Michael Harris deal. See where it goes.
I mean, I would too.
And see where it goes.
Yeah, I would too. Absolutely. All right.
Question number 2.
Get him on the line for me, please.
Yeah.
From the 636, and we were talking about the Detroit Lions earlier. We had our NFC North preview from the 636. Weird how the Vikings have a dog poop defense and made it to the playoffs, but all the Lions have to do is show up. Their defense is just a little bit. Their defense just needs to show up a little bit, and they're a Super Bowl team. Thoughts on why the Lions can have a sucky defense, but the Vikings can't?
Listen, I can't help you with that. Ask Jamie and Marsh. Jamie specifically, who loves the Lions. I've been saying the defense isn't that good. The Lions' defense is a huge problem. I've been saying that all offseason. And Jamie just keeps beating that drum, that Dan Campbell drum. It's a bad defense. Jamie.
We don't know yet. Anthony, haven't played a game yet. So why don't you just hold
terrible
on
a
to your
year ago.
horses? Okay, let's base off a year ago?
Yeah.
Really?
Couldn't
The Cardinals
stop a
last year were a
nosebleed.
first place team a year ago. Where are they now? Things change, Mox.
You're the starting quarterback now. To this extra point, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
Oh, I've got all you guys' backs.
Whatever.
Exactly.
All right, we'll continue the Sports Six Pack. We also need a new Beat the Streak contestant. Maybe we'll do Beat the Streak at the end of the show. Beat the Streak. Text in BTS to the Air Coverage Service text line 314-399-9646. More of your Sports Six Pack questions here on 101 ESPN.
If you're in the market for replacement windows, please look no further than Window World, the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. Window World windows are one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. They're also ranked number 1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine, and their efficiency is fantastic. Why? Because they have a double strength glass that you just don't see in ordinary replacement windows. And what that does is it improves the efficiency of the heating and the cooling in your home. So the hot stays outside in the summertime, and the cold stays outside in the wintertime. And the money, hopefully it stays in your wallet a little bit longer. That's why Window World is my choice. It needs to be your choice. They also offer a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, the glass breakage, and labor. So all you have to do is pick up the phone and ask them, first thing, about 18 months, same as cash financing. Of course, you need approved credit for that. But also about a technician getting out there for a free commitment to a free evaluation of your home and take a look at it and measure up everything and make sure that you're happy before you start the process. Again, that's Window World. They are the best in the business. Give them a call. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. That number is 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. Or look them up at windowworld.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards back in action tonight, taking on the Atlanta Braves. Dakota Hudson on the mound, going up against Spencer Strider. First pitch is at 6:20. If you've missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. You can find all of our interviews, which included Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic. We had Sean Baligian from WJR in Detroit. He covers the Detroit Lions. We talked about the Lions. Yesterday, we talked about the Chiefs as we get closer and closer to opening night for week 1 of the NFL. And of course, we talked with Kyle Hiebert, our guy from St. Louis City SC. So once again, if you missed any of those interviews, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or use the mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We're continuing our Sports Six-Pack. So if you have any more questions, send them our way to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll continue the Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I have a question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Let's continue our Sports Six-Pack.
Question number 3.
All right, gentlemen from the 314. What does everyone see in Newt Bar? I just don't get it.
I mean, Newt, despite the injuries, has had an outstanding season for the Cardinals. He is. I mean, if he stayed healthy all year, and I get maybe that's part of the reason why you're not buying into it, but the numbers that he has put up when healthy are among the best offensively on the team. Defensively, he's got a strong arm, plays all 3 positions. You know, I think his best spot is in right field, but I'm trying to pull up his offensive numbers as of right now. But he's got a little bit of pop, use all areas on the field. Mm-hmm. Newt's going to be your lead. He can lead off. You don't have another leadoff hitter. I know Edmund can do it at times, but I think Newt's been fantastic.
Yeah, Newt's been great. He really has been. For a guy that was nowhere really on the depth chart until he was actually here. And even then, we're like, who the heck is this Newt Bar guy? To where he's left, just his mark. I mean, he plays all 3 outfield positions, does a great job at that. And he the one thing I love about Newt is his effort level.
Yep. Doesn't
give up on a play. Defensively, offensively, he plays through the injuries. He's a glue guy. His teammates like him. He's a building block for what you have moving forward, unless you feel like you need to trade somebody to get that pitcher. Now I know why teams were adamant about wanting Lars Nootbaar in the offseason.
Yeah.
Is they saw this coming.
Honestly,
this would have ended up being another Randy Arozarena type thing.
He's 25.
I know.
He's been everything what you were hoping Dylan Carlson would be. And I'm not one that's completely given up on Carlson, but Lars Nootbaar has been significantly better. If this was Dylan Carlson, I think based on the numbers, he hasn't played a full season. He's got 94 games played, 275 average, 13 home runs, 40 driven in, and 821 OPS. If those were Dylan Carlson's numbers, we'd be celebrating Dylan Carlson cashing in on his prospect currency. Newt's been excellent, and hopefully he'll have a full season next year where he's completely healthy.
Question number 4.
All right, from the 636, you walk into the store for a 6-pack. What 6-pack are you picking up?
This one's easy for me. Here in St. Louis, Bud Select. It's my go-to.
I'm a Budweiser guy.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, Bud Select, Budweiser, I get it.
Well, one's the king of beers, one is not.
So I was drinking a Budweiser at the wedding I was at.
Really?
I ordered 2 Budweisers, and everyone was staring at me like I was an alien.
Because you're up in
Because I was
Wisconsin.
up in Wisconsin with my Minnesota friends. They're like, why are you drinking that? I go, it's the king of beers.
the king of beers.
Did you say, give me 2 Bud Heavies?
I just said, give me 2 Buds.
Nothing heavy about it, baby.
Yeah.
Said, give me 2 Buds.
I bought
nice.
An incredible amount of Bud Select over the weekend.
I do like Bud Select.
And
Bud Select is good.
It was really, really good.
I'm not a big IPA guy.
No.
I'm not a big
I want my beer to taste like beer.
Yeah.
That's
like
me. It's just me, Anthony.
The hazy, whatever. I just give me some Budweiser. I do
damn beer.
You like Kona Big Wave?
Yeah. It's funny. I just had one over the weekend.
Nice. Yeah, I did too.
Solid. Yeah, that's solid. During October, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but during October, I do like the pumpkin beers.
Nope, no thanks.
I didn't figure you'd be on board with that.
Don't even let me smell it.
I do like the pumpkin beers. The Schlafly pumpkin beer.
I get it.
You do it for the month, and that's it. Once it's October only. Once it's November, I'm done.
I just can't do it. I want beer. Just give me beer.
I get it.
That's it. Just can't do it. Just personal preference.
I like the high noon packs. If it's like a nice day, get a couple high noons.
Yeah, that's right. That's
now you're creeping into Seltzerville.
Yeah, no. I will during the summer.
Those are way better than like White Claw or any of that stuff. That stuff's just I'm not about that. The high noons though, those are good.
During the summer, like I just got done with the lawn. Maybe I'm grilling. I don't mind a summer shandy.
Oh, those are fantastic.
I'll allow it.
Oh,
nice.
Come on, those are unbelievable.
I said I'll allow it, Marshy.
No, that was like I personally won't do it.
In fairness to Jamie, he wants his beer to taste like beer.
That's
fine.
And I said I'll allow it.
Those are a little.
What the hell's your problem?
I have a massive problem.
He's at least Jamie's allowing that over where the category. You're like drifting in to
totally drifting. He's trying to drag us into Seltzerville.
Yeah, I'm not getting into Seltzer.
I'm not dragging you there.
You're subtly dragging us over with high noons. Not really.
It never asked about. I said a 6-pack.
What is it categorized as? It's a seltzer.
Okay.
I'm not getting a 6-pack of seltzer.
I'm not walking in and being like, hey, by the way, Anthony, Jamie, I'm going to buy you guys some high noons. I'm buying myself a high noon.
You buy me a high noon, and I'm going to give them to my kids.
You have to understand that I am
nicer than what I thought you were
closer
gonna
to the age of your kids than I am you guys.
Okay, Marsh,
Wow.
every day you got to rub it in our face that you're younger.
Yeah.
We get it.
I see the angle here. He's trying to hurt us right now.
Yeah, he is.
What a jerk.
Yeah, Jamie, if you and I had feelings, that would sting.
Damn AC!
Yeah.
You've been messing with me all day.
You've been a monster all day today, Marsh.
I need some sleep.
Since the opening segment, you have been an absolute monster to Jamie and I.
Marshy, all you have to do is call Ron, the Wizard of Comfort. All right? He'll take care of you. And give him a call at 636-500-COOL.
Yeah.
Tell him Jamie and Anthony
Come on.
sent you.
It's easy to remember.
All right.
Question number 5.
From the 314, would you guys rather be able to throw a 95-plus mile-per-hour fastball or have an unbelievably wicked curveball?
So 95. 95, I'm getting picked up by scouts. The curve.
Yeah.
They're not looking unless I'm throwing 90 plus. So if I'm tipping the scales at 95, Jamie, I'm getting a look. So 95 all day.
Are you really, though? Because
Yes.
95's the new 85. Guys
Whatever.
are pitching 99 to 100. So I don't know. I'd rather have an absolutely unbelievable curveball so that I could pitch for 20 years and get paid for that rather than 3 years.
If
And then
you
I've got
get-
Tommy John. And
If
then
you get picked up.
then my velo drops and, I'm
Look,
good.
Jamie, one thing you and I can agree on, I would love an absolute hammer as well. Okay?
I bet you would.
We can
Yeah,
agree
who
on that.
doesn't, though, really?
Exactly. We all want a hammer.
Yep.
A
Well said.
nice curveball, right? But 95's getting me looks.
But when guys are swinging and
hammer's getting
missing
me
all
looks
day
too, but-
long, when I'm throwing that bender right in there, they're looking. I'll tell you that much.
Marsh, you got one more for us?
Yeah, actually, I have something from the text line. By the way, from the 618. High Noon is not a seltzer; it's a vodka drink. It's like a vodka type seltzer.
Marshy's brother just texted in.
No, he doesn't drink those.
I bought him High Noons.
He doesn't drink those.
Okay, fair enough. We stand corrected, Marsh.
Oh yeah.
So.
Question number 6.
Guys, Chris Jones thinks that if he can come back after this contract debacle, that he might be able to play tomorrow night. Do you see that happening at all?
I could, yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Why
but
not?
I can totally see it
Did they
happening.
change the playbook on defense? No, they didn't.
No, go get the quarterback,
Just go,
Chris.
yeah.
Just like you always have.
Just do what you do, man.
He might have to be on a snap count, but
he said if a deal gets done, I can be out there tomorrow.
I'm sure he's working out.
Yeah, he's not sitting at home.
No. Yeah.
Just doing
they're
nothing.
not. They're not playing video games.
Well, he might still be playing video games.
It's not Kyler Murray,
No,
you know?
What do you think Kyler Murray's doing?
Playing video games.
Playing video
There's
games.
no doubt about it. Yeah.
And just pissing people off, probably.
Yep. Okay, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We got Beat the Streak, and we'll wrap up the show next.
If you're currently thinking about selling your home, or maybe you've had your home on the market and it hasn't been exactly the way you want it to be, because let's be honest, the market is all over the place. One day you're getting over list price, the next day you can't get your house sold. It's time to go with the best in the business, and that's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I've talked to before about options and the process and different things that Gloria has available. Her guaranteed sales are the one thing that I like the most. And what that is Gloria will sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy herself, and she guarantees that in handwriting. She also has the buyers for you. That's right. She's got a database with thousands of ready buyers, and these buyers create a higher demand for your property, maybe multiple offers. That's where you're getting into the money situation. That means more money in your pocket. So please don't hesitate. If you're selling your home, or you're thinking about selling your home, call Gloria Liu. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit gloriaasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and the seller must agree on price and possession date.
Good streaking!
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
All right, time to play Beat the Streak here on 101 ESPN. We've got a new contestant. Barry joins us. What's up, Barry?
Hey, how we doing, boys?
Doing all right, my man. Appreciate you joining us today. You will be going, I think, third, right, Marsh? Because second. Who else lost last? Third. Okay, yeah. I lost and the contestant lost. So what is our streaks?
All right, Jamie leads the pack with 3.
Way to go, Jamie.
I'm at 1.
Attaboy, Marsh.
Anthony at 0. And Barry is now stepping up to the plate for an opportunity to beat the streak.
I like what you did there.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Nice job.
You didn't realize it, did you?
No, I didn't.
I had no idea. No,
I was really proud of you, too.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ronald Acuna Jr. He's done nothing all year. Anyways, Jamie, what do you got?
I'm Matt Olson. Bottom line.
Yeah.
You think Dakota Hudson's squeaking by him? Nice try.
I didn't think that Miles Michaelis was going to squeak one by Ronald Acuna Jr., but lo and behold.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Squeaked one right in there.
Yeah, he did. All right, Matt Olson's off the board. Marsh, who do you got?
I'm going to go with, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Oh, boy.
Unbelievable.
There it is.
Unbelievable. Okay, Barry, who would you like?
All right, I was hoping he was there. I'm going to go with Ozzy Albies.
3 Braves off the board so far.
I just got to go Albies. You know what?
You still got other guys there, Anthony. They got a whole team full of guys.
Why don't we go with old buddy Marcell Ozuna tonight, huh?
Oh, boy.
Ooh. Love it.
Guess had a nice sear.
Goldie sleeves.
Yep.
Are they gold or are they like neon?
I would say neon. Yeah, but anyways. All right, so here's the picks. Jamie went with Matt Olson. Marsh went with Ronald Acuna Jr. Barry went with Ozzy Albies. And I went with Marcell Ozuna. Probably should have went Riley, but I screwed that up. All right, Barry, hopefully we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, I will talk to you tomorrow, and go Pack, go.
There we go. Wow.
Oh, come
Barry,
on,
did you hear my pick earlier for the NFC North?
Packers all the way. Jordan Love going to be the surprise player.
There we go. Thank you, Barry.
All right.
Finally, somebody gets it. All right, we'll see you.
All right.
Unbelievable. I would have known that.
Yeah, Marshy, we have to vet some of these callers a little bit.
I think you did a great job. If you missed anything from today's show, you can download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. What do we got for criticisms and compliments today?
Yes, from the 217, Jamie, you mentioned Stone Mountain at the beginning of the show. The 217 says, Jamie, thanks for the tip on Stone Mountain. I'm always looking for places to go and things I haven't seen.
It is. It's cool. It really is. You bring the family there. They've actually got a trail, too, that goes right up the side of the mountain all the way to the top. It's pretty wild. It's fun when you go like mid to late afternoon, do your thing, stick around for when the sun starts to go down. Then they bring out the music and the laser show, and it's pretty neat, man. Honestly.
A text from the 217 once again. Hey Marsh, what's with that Gauntlet answer? You don't see Anthony pulling a stunt like that.
Thank you.
Oof.
Yeah. Appreciate you, 217.
Do you?
Some controversy there, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no controversy when you mail it in.
What are you talking about?
I mailed it in.
If you did combine the two, which is what Marsh thought the question.
He still could have picked any other number.
He would have been closer.
Could have picked another number. He picked that one.
What's wrong with that number?
It would have been
Trust me,
60.
there's nothing wrong with that number.
The answer would have been 60. Marsh would have been 9 away.
Would have been 9 away. What if it was 70? What if they both have 35? That's 70 right there.
Then wrote 70.
Marsh is thinking.
I mean, you know what? It is what it is. I was trying to vindicate Anthony.
Thank you, Marsh.
I should have, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
From the 314, we were talking with BT a little earlier ago. He said, great audio. Sounds like a 1950s baseball radio broadcast.
Yeah, you should have. Well, you can hear it on the podcast. BT was playing the organ at Truist Park.
Oh.
The organ that's at Truist Park.
Yeah, but whose organ is it?
Somebody named Bill Sampson.
Got it.
Yeah, Bill Sampson. He was playing his organ.
I wonder if BT asked if he could play his organ.
Knowing BT, probably not.
Just went ahead and started playing it.
Yeah, that's typically what BT does. That's how he rolls. Yep. All right. That'll do it for today's show. Appreciate everybody listening and texting in and being a part of it today. For Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. You got instant replay coming up right now. See ya.